cannot come up till you get down. You know when we see 12, we gon' get down, so don't make a sound. Bring it back around. Look, flow sick, hospital. Every time I bust a riddle, you should feel like getting down. Move your feet just a little, get dagging like a pistol started busting on the ground. You know I'm straight about the leaf, better watch how you speak. Real G's don't chatter. From missing at the club creek, if you lose with your teeth, glass shells get shattered. Ouch, but it don't matter, every hood the same. It's all the platter up there, test up made by hopeless bastards that be trapped in chains, who grew up backwards and attached to pain. Ouch, but it's involuntary. The root of evil ain't necessarily monetary. I'm about to tell me I'm blessed to carry the commentary forward to the masses that never walk past the monastery. Holy flow, but you know me though. Always weary of the coons and the okie doke. Shout out to Modern Luxury for editorials to show that we smashing the fashion, the boss, and the choreo. Ooh. This song is for the wildest without a crime. Cause where we from, you cannot come up till you get down. You know when we see 12, we gon' get down, so don't make a sound. Bring it back around.
They said they had enough, we do too much, homie, I said bring it back. I used to keep that afro puff and that was tucked, but really I should bring it back. We was there, black on black, shades and gas, and homie, I say bring it back. Cause when the crackers start creeping like a thief or a demon, like it's really hunting season, you be looking for the strap. I brought that back, now I bring it forward. I'm young and I'm black and I feel enormous, like a dragon in a caveland, calm and dormant. Toby asked me for the fire, almost burnt the forest. And from them ashes, I saw greatness forming like a new black Wall Street, great and gorgeous. So keep your eyes open for the 12 informants. They gon' try to infiltrate, but we gon' get it up. And if it ain't big, I don't comprehend. Big and bold, baby, I don't blend. Black is God, that ain't no trend. You looking for the answer, take a look at my skin. Oh,
this song is for the wildest without a crime. Cause where we from, you cannot come up till you get down. You know when we see 12, we gon' get down, so don't make a sound. I bring it back around. Father, can you hear me? Gunshots rang while I'm down on my knees, couple bullets came near me. Or did I pick a bad time? Maybe I should call back, signal mighty busy. Operator operating on caller number 9, can't stop the bleeding. Oh man, what is y'all eating? Baby still teething. Checks ain't came in, job ain't called back, so I'm back to even. Stimulus bounce back, can't even count that. I'ma hit a lick, one thing I achieve in. I'ma get an A+, heard about the cash register down the street. You and I, we can lean in. That's unity you and I can believe in. You can hold it straight, if it's not, get the squeeze in. Take a letter, check a lick, thing, get the sneeze in. Boom, in the silence, I think you stop breathing. It ain't hard to do with that when you fresh out the mud. You know the devil gon' learn. Better keep a couple slug. It ain't hard to do that when you fresh out the mud. You know the devil gon' learn. Better keep a couple slug. Look, we got problems, we got pain. At the end of the day, it's all the same. So you go and find us when you try your hardest not to refrain. This song is for the wildest without a crime. Cause where we from, you cannot come up till you get down. You know when we see 12, we gon' get down, so don't make a sound. I bring it back around.
Yeah, I can't let anybody just stop my grind like that. Got me messed up. No, not today, Pookie. I have some humility right there. Pray for you. But not today. Nobody stops this shit. Welcome back to the Revolutionary Agenda. Part, whatever the fuck this is, 21 and a half, okay? Fortunately, there's always got to be somebody trying to stop my process. You just can't let me just do me, right? What they want the most. Not today, Pookie. Not on my watch. I'm just gonna, you're just gonna have to stand in line, or get the fuck out the way. Not on my watch, right? That should be like the typical fucking. I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, aren't y'all tired? Motherfuckers just stunning you 24/7. Everywhere you turn, just can't do this. No, not okay. Nah, fuck that, man. I ain't listening to nobody. The reason I'm gonna say that is because I'm free. Trust me, you gotta release yourself. You'll feel a whole lot better when you release yourself. Okay, release yourself. You'll feel a lot better. I came out the womb like this. Fuck you, take me. You know what I mean? That's what it is. There's no happy day ever. I don't give a fuck who says there is. That's for me. That's for the world. This is for you. Because there is no this for real. This is for you. You're welcome. Unappreciated fucks for real. Don't cry. None of you guys. Don't cry later, okay? Don't cry. Don't say nothing. So you're going to be that one individual say, Mm-mm. Please. Somebody do the right thing. Nah, man, I'm tired. I'm tired. You're like the man. Don't let the shade deflect the message. I can't, motherfuckers try to stop you with your. You're right there. No matter what the fuck you're doing, it's always got to be an interruption. It's always got to be someone in their bag. It's always got to be somebody doing this. It's always a fucking distraction. Fuck no more. You'll thank me later when you get in that mood. Get in that mood. You'll thank me later. It's okay for everybody else to focus. Everybody else to do their shit, right? But God forbid, Brandy, the doll, want to do any shit that is a fucking substance to her. Media shutdown. I don't give a fuck. Not today, Pookie. Not on these glorious motherfucking days that are presently upon us. That you're really gonna regret later. That you're fucking yourself when you're doing this bullshit. Really gonna regret it later. You're like, God. When in doubt, just do what Brandy would have done. Okay, that's all I can say. You obviously didn't take that advice when I was here and took complete motherfucking advantage of the motherfucking force. And no, it's too late for motherfucking flowers and fuck you. Hand your motherfucking time in the sun. Especially with a motherfucking individual who's lived enough life experience for 5 motherfucking individuals. Okay? So, I don't want to hear shit. No. I don't even want to, don't show no sad face. Don't even show up. You know what I mean? Because if you too late. I had your time in the sun. You should have just, like I've been saying for a long motherfucking time. You say it any better, like, fuck. Should appreciate a motherfucker while they were around. Should have listened. Not everything they said was motherfucking crazy talk. Oh, just because it didn't come out the more darker melanated insides of me doesn't mean anything, right? Fuck. Fell asleep on the wrong individual. Just slap yourselves. Didn't deserve me in the first place. If you had a chance to get to know me and spend time with me, feel privileged with that. Because there was obvious reason for it. You didn't get anything out of it? You'll figure it out eventually when it dawns on you. Miss me with that bullshit. It's always too late. Can't even take it back now because you've been saying that forever. Well, fucking, you can only make magic last for so fucking long, okay? You have to come to reality that the motherfucking heart don't want to do it no more. I can't force it anymore. Trust and believe. I've been going extra hard for the last 2.5 years. Super hard, extraordinarily fucking unnormally hard. Okay? Super over it. Like, fight. It's been a real motherfucking struggle. Super hard. It's gonna do what it gonna do. And it's gonna be all on you later. You're like, fuck. I don't want to hear shit. Trust and believe. I'm gonna hear everything because I'm not gonna be rested well. Because I'll be like, fuck, man, right when it's getting interesting. Oh, well. I did what I could. You fucked off. Slept on the force. Like sleeping on the job. Shouldn't have done it. Oh, well. Too late. You had your chance. So now I'm just going to do me in my glory. It'll be a miraculous miracle. That's an impossible miracle, actually. And Right now with the coronavirus, it's not even wise to be unvaccinated trying to go and deal with this condition, okay? It's not. For two various reasons. A, they don't even want to discuss this shit with me. And they want to force a fucking shot on an already half working heart. So they know better. And they just think the shot's the answer. Fuck no, it isn't. When the shot and flu shot kicked in the infection in the heart that ate the whole heart. So now the half of the heart that is functioning is so fucking fucked up. There's no valving. All the valves have followed suit, right? They're all gone. We want to talk about that part though, right? That the heart is pumping so fucking furiously on one side to keep all of this going. Yeah, it's a real situation. And backing up into the lung, and backing out, and backing up, and swelling up to grandiose proportions, right? But you got to hear about it because, people and their judgments. Stupid, right? Oh, so you just got to immense portion. Who could it be that only half my heart was working? I just couldn't fathom. Right? And then I take the medicine, it almost kills me. I'm good. Thank you, though. Thanks for offering. Trying to progress. I'm trying to prolong this shit. But no, we gotta stress her out. We gotta set the balance of the world. We just cannot enjoy me for me. Right? You always gotta change me. You always gotta do something. You fuck up my shit. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Because I just said it. You always said, yes. Yes. So good. You got the wording for a long period of time. He still chose to fucking not make use of the motherfucking force of fucking nature. Ultimate form of manifestation. Man, you're welcome. You didn't do anything good with it. You're bad luck. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Shit. Time's up. I've been ready. Lived a long life for like 5 motherfuckers. Super life experience, okay? Almost fucking unrealistic, fucking great shit. Mad adventures almost on a daily. I can tell you a fucking adventure that happened every fucking day. Really made good use of my fun time, alright? You'll say it as fucking up. I see it as me just living my most free spirited motherfucking self. And I've done shit that motherfuckers don't like. Okay. When has nobody not liked anything I've done or hated on it? It's like a normal shit for me. The day somebody doesn't not hate on me or try to stun on me or try to break me down, that would be a motherfucking miracle. Hey, somebody actually want to empower this shit without some nefarious purpose, I'll be impressed. But that day has not yet happened. And best believe, it's a long way to April at this rate. And I'm pretty sure if I'm worried about getting to Sunday, definitely not making to my next solar return. And I'm okay with that. So if I'm okay with that and I'm worried, genuinely scared, that means motherfucker get on board. Because this motherfucker don't get scared. Real shit. I lack that fear. Why? The world is my bitch. You know what I mean? I gotta get fear for it. Shouldn't be scared. But I'm actually, if I'm scared, that means I won't take my motherfucking ass in the hospital. First of all, there ain't shit they can do about it. A whole bunch of reasons. There's all that shit I could do with it. They're not gonna do anything to it. They wouldn't if they haven't done it already. The best believe the debate's been out there. They're not gonna do it now, okay? Not now. That would be a miracle, right? Trust me. They don't give that kind of miracle to these motherfuckers, right? Well, keep hope alive. Fuck that. It's not gonna happen. Just deal with it. I've accepted it. Now you do too. But the show must go on. No, another news. I wasn't gonna let nobody stop me. I'm gonna just do whatever the fuck I feel like doing today because we are on the revolutionary agenda. I feel like it. You hear me? I don't know why, but I felt like it. So we're going back to 21 and a half. That's why I put it, and a half. Back to what we were talking about before I was so rudely interrupted. which was San Francisco mayor. So we get back into it. If you're watching now, thanks for tuning back in. Not okay, cool. It's not about the views for me. Just doing it to pass on the message. Here we go. All right, where was I? I'm gonna play this part. I also note in the family there's a big motherfucking wedding here and the hookers. That's what I was mostly paying attention to. I'm drawing attention to the hookers.
Twerkers, police, and community groups working together to offer wraparound services and connection to a new temporary linkage site
I forgot I got
where
share on
people
this one.
can start treatment,
I
meeting
so wrapped
people
up
where
in
they
that,
are, being the compassionate city that we are, but not tolerating the mess that we've had to tolerate.
That's where this broad was talking about.
The final phase of this intervention focuses on keeping the streets safe and accessible for everyone who calls the Tenderloin home.
Family right here.
This includes securing long-term funding for ambassador programs, supporting community-led beautification and open space projects, and making environmental changes that promote safety and neighborhood.
The tree's nice and shit, but look what's going on in the
Return
back.
to theaters Christmas 2022. Reserve the best seats now and save 22% on tickets. Each order receives exclusive
support.
Couple.
This also includes long-term partnerships with community organizations and residents to maintain the improvements made during the crisis operations phase.
Shout out
The
to
key
Little Eyeball.
will be to never let the Tenderloin go back to what we are seeing today. To not go backwards, to move forward, to feel and see a difference. But public safety isn't just about the Tenderloin. We know that there are issues all over this city. Our second initiative is targeting the illegal vending on our streets that is incentivizing the break-ins and robberies like the ones we have seen at stores and small businesses throughout the city.
Photo ops.
And you know what's the sad reality? Before I was even an elected official, when the cell phone thefts were at an all-time high, everybody knew that whatever they stole for cell phones, laptops, anything you steal in the city, you take it down to the Tenderloin, and there's someone waiting to give you cash for those items.
Not just the Tenderloin.
I want to be clear that these are not victimless crimes, and they are not just property crimes. We're seeing an increase in the use of high-speed getaway cars that in some cases are stolen vehicles, physical violence, and the use of weapons. Today, I'm introducing legislation to disincentivize theft by making the resale of stolen goods more difficult.
Who the fuck
For the resale of goods on the streets, it will create an exclusion zone for all street vending activity in existing locations that are highly problematic, such as UN Plaza. It will mandate highly visible posting of approved vendor permits to make it simple and easy for inspectors at any time, and request proof of purchase immediately from anyone attempting to sell these goods. And if
they talk about the break-ins and the little smash and grabs and shit that was going on, right? Property, right? Just keep this in mind. It's all about motherfucking property break-ins, and then where does it go? It's just automatically, let's just target the Tenderloin, right? I mean, let's not forget we got Oakland, we got fucking all the homeless areas and all the fucking free-range drug population pipelines and what, all this shit. Okay, let's just not forget about all that. Let's just go ahead and just be targeted one group because this one little section, right? And it's happening in everybody's city. The Tenderloin is like our version of the triangle. Okay, the same shit. Everybody's city looks like this, right? And then this motherfucking I'm laughing because they have a homeless task force in every city, right? To reimagine the homeless shit, to reimagine what homelessness should not look like, and reimagining the police department, and reimagining this, and there's a whole motherfucking boards and task forces that these motherfuckers, and they always looking for that. They are great ideas. And let's brainstorm, let's motherfucking brainstorm, right? And I swear, oh my God, I swear, on my skin, on my tags, on everything I believe in. That this was going on in California. I sat in and was listening, right? Even participated. This little thing. This is like Jesse Paris stuff, okay? This is I'll call it mayoral work. That's what I call it, right? Anyway, so so I was sitting there listening to it. I'm participating because I actually have lived experience. So I have something to contribute. And these were really good, progressive motherfucking thoughts that were happening. They were really making moves. Oh my God. They were really making moves in these areas. They were doing stuff in certain parts of California. I was like, fuck. All right, well, if California can do this, and they have all these great ideas, and shit's working over here in this area and over here with this group, blah, blah, blah. Why hasn't anybody thought about this shit for here? We're only in Denver. I mean, let's not build up Denver like that, but, Denver is thriving. Whatever you want to call it, okay? Yes, we're in a booming little city. Mile-high income city, to be exact. And nobody can fucking live here. It's just fucking bad. So, their tenderloin is like Denver's motherfucking triangle. That they've cornered off, blocked off, and fucking, we talk about this every weekend on Frontline Black News. So I'm fucking amused by it because I'm like, the passion behind this shit and the next shit that follows it. But I'm like, what happened to the task force? Geez, did we all of a sudden decide that homelessness and fucking this shit was no longer a concern, and we just put it back? You just let it just get out of here. Because I was mad impressed with what was going on over there in California. And I've had some moments where I've asked other people in other cities, what's going on over there? Your city's starting to look like this? Real shit. I've had real live discussions. So that's why it's funny to me. It's really funny to me. I know I should be laughing, but I can't even say it. It's amusing when this is what we do all day here, is try to end this shit and fix it. Okay? And it's like, now everybody wants to get upset.
Can't produce it, then we will take action. It will allow the Department of Public Works to associate with law enforcement. If there is a need to move an individual who's not compliant and the ability to confiscate goods. These are basic but important actions, and I want to thank Supervisor Safai for co-sponsoring this important legislation. We also know that we need to give our officers more tools to effectively do their jobs. In 2019, the Board of Supervisors passed a law that limited law enforcement's ability to use camera feeds during emergency situations. There are exceptions where they can, but for a lot of the issues like what happened in Union Square, they could not. Where there were multiple robbery crews hitting multiple stores, they couldn't even access those cameras.
Why not? Let's ask those questions. When it happens in your city, right?
Which is ridiculous. Think about that. During an incident of severe looting, our officers are not able to use a tool that we have that other jurisdictions.
I don't even want to hear about this, bro. I live in a city where I got hit by a motherfucking truck in a power jet, and those cameras didn't seem to be working either. In the most gentrified area, I don't even want to hear about it. Like, it's like you just gotta see the laughter that comes from this shit. It's like, oh, when it's in your area, now you want to be all aboard and fucking serious and stop the games.
All over this country can use. This creates barriers for law enforcement's ability to respond quickly when responding to critical incidents.
And they really don't got a problem with responding to shit they really want to respond to. I'm just going to be very serious about that.
Significant public safety issues. We need amendments to clarify that officers are allowed to access these cameras when needed to address critical public safety issues. There is a balance to be had, I know.
The fuck they talking about? They access these cameras. They just say they don't work. They're the ones in control of this shit. Case in point, I live in Denver. On that side of the shit that they're talking about at one point in time. And all the motherfucking Halo cams work. They all have audio. They all have visual. They got that zoom in. If they got it in motherfucking Walmart, you don't think they're operating in the big motherfucking city. You don't believe me? Go into Walmart, right? Pretend you're gonna get caught fucking stealing and get in that motherfucking office where they lecture you and fucking maybe let you out, right? And you watch them do their due diligence. They got a camera. They got like, it's like the eye of the sky, like in jail, right? And they're like zooming in the parking lot, backing in and out. You know, they're seeing where you pocketed this shit and which, dark corner you thought you was being slick in. What motherfucking eyewitness saw it. You know what I mean? They on their due diligence. There's like 40, 50 motherfucking 60 zillion cameras in Walmart. You got the little ones, the big ones, blah, blah, blah. They all got audio. So no matter what you talk about, man, just stuff it in your bag. They heard the whole motherfucking business. Okay? In Walmart. If Walmart can do it, fucking Walmart, right? And you don't think that the motherfucking T's that are constantly evolving and thinking they're being so fucking slick and fucking, we've just created this new technology. Like the shit I was reading about on Newsbreak with the fucking gunshot motherfucking directional pinpoint thing. Miss me with that shit. They only want to use it when they want to use it. If that was the fucking case, in my city of Aurora, there wouldn't be 22 plus dead youth here in the last month that we don't talk about. Just saying. That shit only works when it's selective and they want to, and they want you to know that it's working. Miss me with that bullshit. They need permission. They don't need permission. They've been invading motherfuckers' privacy. That's what they do. They can't visually see you, hear you on your motherfucking fucking Google Spy right here in your own motherfucking hand that you tell all your motherfucking secrets to. It's been recording you, fucking listening to you, dry snitching on you and shit. That you actively have a fucking membership to Google for. Yeah. They know. They've seen it. They've done it. They got your fucking whole intention going on in your whole life. I'll get into that much later on in the program. They don't need permission. They don't need help. They don't need any of that shit. Wow. It just keeps getting worse.
Now if our officers cannot use cameras during a mass looting event,
property,
then that policy is out of balance. We are actively working on those amendments with plans to introduce it in January. And my hope is that the board will support changes. Lastly, we're increasingly asking our police department to do more. They're working more overtime to address these challenges, including responding to the rash number of retail thefts and confiscating more than 23.
This is not an ass, family. She's forgive me. She is definitely telling you what it really is and what they're going to do. She's just keeping you in the polite loop. They're not asking. They never ask. This is about fucking millions of fucking dollars being just stolen for whatever motherfucking reason out their businesses. They can't, get the money off of it. And instead it's going into drug dealers and fucking anybody's hands who need a tent, tarp, or fucking way to cope for the night. Whatever the fuck is going on out there. That's what this is really about. Because you see, they failed to mention all the other atrocities that happened with the police and all this other stuff. They seem to fail to mention a whole bunch of other serious shit.
3 kilos of fentanyl in the last year alone, 4 times the amount in previous years. They've been expanding a number of deployments through our tourism deployment plans. So people come here and spend money and support our economy. They feel safe and they want to return. And we change the narrative about what people say about San Francisco. And focusing on auto burglaries to make significant arrests on prolific crews who time and time again
are committing these acts and impacting the quality of life for San Franciscans. They've done all of this while being part of a police reform movement that has led to dramatic decreases in the use of force, incidents, and a rapidly diversifying police force that better reflects the communities they serve. Our officers are committed to doing that work, and they're committed to keeping us safe. But everything they've been doing over the recent months and everything we're going to ask of them in the coming months before we pass a new budget is going to require more overtime funding, and it's going to require more police officers. My budget office is currently working with the San Francisco Police Department and the chief to understand what the needs will be to get us through 2022. And I will introduce a supplemental to ask this board for the resources we need so that the deployment that exists now is not over after the holidays. The deployment that we are imposing in this city needs to be permanent. And as we plan for our upcoming budget, we will ensure those resources, including academy classes and overtime, are in place as part of the two-year budget, and I will introduce that budget at the end of May, but we can't wait to continue the resources that we have now.
I just want to say while we wait for this brief break. Shout out to Jason Black and Race Wars. That's all I gotta say about that. Now we should
Some of these actions are underway immediately, while others require a significant investment and legislation. And there will be more work to come on this front. Taken together, they can make a real difference on our streets and in our city. And before I bring up Chief Scott, I want to take a moment to recognize the work more recently of our police officers and their commitment. Vacations have been canceled.
Oh my God.
Time off has been canceled. It's been all hands on deck. And at the end of the day, what has made the most significant difference to address public safety is, yes, we've made investments in social service programs. Yes, we push for reforms to our criminal justice system. We will continue to do that. But when
I know, family, I'll get that fixed. It's just all of a sudden everything just wants to fail. Shout out again to the Black Authority, Race Wars, Judge Joe Brown, and various other individuals in that film. Keeping it real about the motherfucking police and their dynamic situations and how they play a part in all of this. Their contributing factors, and then how this is all there now. We need them. she needed. Yeah. Oh man, don't give a shit. Fucking, they're there to protect this property. Property. And anybody don't know, don't know really about California and fucking seen some shit. Been in California, from California, little girl in California, and the police. There's like all of this, it's all a revolving door. It's just design of fucking their failures, and it keeps falling into it, and it's fucking revolving door. But shout out to the Black Authority on his fucking, I would say, award-winning actual fucking bring the truth to light. I'm gonna pick Shabaka's brain about this later on the Frontline Black News. But shout out to them, man, and everybody who told the truth a little bit on that, and Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, yep. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Look it up, do the research. Gems of actual fucking real truth and knowledge, and you're gonna give these motherfuckers more money for them to continue to keep the fucking city right how they want them. This is a revolving fucking door of set up to failure.
Line is crossed. People have to be held accountable for the crimes they commit in our city. And that's where our police officers have been critically important to our ability to do so. Thank you to Sheriff Miyamoto, who has been a real partner, and I'm looking forward to working more with allowing our sheriff's deputies to work off duty in uniform at a number of locations throughout San Francisco. Their partnership with our frontline workers and community groups and ambassadors have been really essential in keeping us safe. And finally, let me just say, at the end of the day, I know this sounds like a lot of different things. I know this sounds like more and more promises that may not materialize. But I want each and every person in this city to know this work and what we are going to do to turn around how people feel in San Francisco is the most important thing to me. This is a city that has a population of less than 1 million people with an over $12 billion budget. The residents of the city have been extremely generous in providing us with the resources we need to make a difference. And now, the priorities we need to make must be to protect them, must be to turn things around in their neighborhoods.
For real.
When you are in a room full of people, I would say probably anywhere between 90 and 95% of folks could raise their hand and say that either their car has been broken into, or they've been a victim in some capacity or another. That is not okay. That is not acceptable. And it's time that the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, it is time for it to come to an end. And it comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with the changes in our policies, and less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city. We are going to turn this around. And this is the most important thing for me and I know leaders of public safety in this city at this time. And with that, I'd like to introduce our police chief, Bill Scott.
What happened all these years that it was building up? Now it's an issue. Now we gotta be serious.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning.
When is Rod coming to office? This will be more later on questions when I research this. Okay.
People in our city who have been impacted by crime, by quality of life issues such as open air drug usage, street vending.
I'm glad they cut that off.
You don't know what you're looking for.
You can't keep
Some of our issues with our unhoused population that lead to trash on the streets, and needles on the streets, and things like that.
It's everybody's city, cuz. Like, for real, that's everybody's city.
Things
we hear about city council all the time.
From a policing perspective, I want to reiterate
that's not the
a few
answer.
things and piggyback on the mayor's comments about what you can expect from the San Francisco Police Department. First and foremost, law enforcement and enforcement of drug dealing offenses. We need to do more. It's little consolation that we arrested almost 600 people in the Tenderloin alone this year. It's little consolation when you're still seeing drug dealers in your neighborhood and your blocks day in and day out. It's little consolation that we've seized 23 kilos of fentanyl, four times the amount of what we seized last year. When you're still seeing fentanyl being sold in your communities day in and day out. It's little consolation for me to stand here and spout statistics about any forms of arrest or enforcement actions when you're seeing these activities day in and day out. And here's the point to all.
Pause right there. You in that area, you really know what's going on right there. I mean, if it was really a problem, then you would put an end to that area in that certain, I don't know. I dare to say it out loud. But if you know where it's coming in from, you can't seal it up or stop it or any of that shit. You just gonna let it flood in and then seizing on. Come on now, cuz stop the cap.
We will
Everybody knows
make
about
arrests,
San Francisco.
and we will make more arrests. But there are areas in this city that need constant 24-hour police presence.
We can't seal any of that off, or we can't, I don't know, just example, like fucking live grenade in the street and just seals it off. Just gonna go ahead and just let it just flood in and then act like we're concerned and then just another reason. Oh my God. And you see, you'll can't even get into it. Just figure it out. But can't just seal it all off if it was really that much of an issue. No, right? Because you need that income because it all goes back to, it's all a revolving door. That's all I can say right now. That's all I can say. It's too much. That's all I can say. Revolving door. Just with money and jail. And fucking nobody's really getting the help they need.
While we make those arrests. From the lips of the people who live and work and play in the city to my ears, this is what I'm hearing over and over again. And I thank the mayor and our elected officials who are here with us and the public for drawing the line. Because this police department will draw the line, but we need the resources to do it. And let me go in a little bit more detail about how this works. Because I'm going to speak for my officers. They're asked to go out there and do a job. Make an arrest. They make an arrest. They're in the station writing reports, booking evidence. That's the process that has to happen. All that's being done, the corner that they were standing on to make that arrest, nobody's there. And it's as if they were never there in the first place. When those arrests are made, we can't have a situation where the officers are then not in those neighborhoods that need us the most. That's why deployment is so important. And I'm a witness to this. I've been out with the officers. I've walked those blocks with them. They make an arrest, they're out of the field. 30 minutes later, I go back, and it's like we've never been there. There are places in this city where we need constant police presence. And let me be very clear on what I'm saying. I'm not saying unconstitutional arrest. I'm not saying brutalizing people and using force. What I'm saying is we need to be out there policing, engaging with the communities that we serve, and policing the right way. That takes time, that takes patience, that takes money, that takes resources. And we're committed to doing it.
Exactly.
I've heard from officer after officer after officer. When I ask the question, what do you need to do your job?
Just to get paid for all this shit.
The answer is usually two things. We need enough people to do our jobs the way we've been asked to do it. And we need to be supported when we do our jobs the right way.
What?
As your chief of police, that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for the resources to do our job like we've been asked to do it. And I'm asking for support for our officers when they do the job the way that you asked them to do it.
So more officers.
Because here's the third thing.
Nobody on the street, right?
Police departments all across this country are facing hiring challenges.
Goddamn right.
This city is no exception.
Nope.
We need to have an environment in this city, and hear me very clearly, where people want to come to work here and be police officers. That doesn't happen without support. And Mayor Reed, thank you for your support on this. We need the public support. They need my support. And they deserve that. If we're asking them to do a very
difficult
job.
Asking for more money and more people out
there.
So
I'm going to go into a little bit more detail before I
what's the solution? Introduce jail, right?
Carol
what happens when their time runs out?
Open air drug use, open air drug sales. The consistency of the arrest is very important. When we have the evidence, we need consequences. And look, I'm here to talk about what we can control, we, the San Francisco Police Department, can control. But when people are using drugs, and some of the people that I'm talking about, they have substance addiction issues. They need professional medical assistance to get through those issues. We have to be compassionate with that. But being compassionate does not mean that we have to turn a blind eye to what's happening on the streets. We're in a situation now,
for good reason,
where
the
the
criminal
criminal
justice
justice
system
system
has
changed
changed
in the last decade.
A
A
decade
decade
ago,
ago,
possession
possession
of a
of a
small
small
amount
amount
of
of
crack
crack
cocaine or
cocaine or
heroin
heroin
would
would
land you
land
in
you in
jail for
jail
a
for a
felony. That
felony.
is no
That is
longer
no
the
longer the
case.
case.
But it
But it
doesn't
doesn't
mean we
mean we
can't take
can't take
action.
action.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
mean we
mean we
can't be
can't be
compassionate. It
compassionate.
doesn't
It doesn't
mean we
mean
can't
we can't
rely
rely
on
on
medical and
medical and
healthcare
healthcare
research
research
to
to
have a
have a
balance
balance
of
of
compassion
compassion and treatment
and
and
enforcement.
enforcement.
We've
We've
struggled
struggled
with
with
that.
that.
I'll be the
I'll be
first
the
to
first
admit
to
it.
admit it.
But that
But
day
that day is no more.
We will
We will
engage. We will
We will
engage
engage
consistently.
consistently.
We will offer up services. The city and the mayor and everybody standing here in front of you
What are
are
services?
working on a plan to do just that in the very, very near future. But at
But
the
at
end
the
of
end
the
of the
day,
day,
at the end of
end of
all
all
of
of
this,
this,
people will
people will
not be
not be
allowed to
allowed to
smoke
smoke
meth,
meth,
to
to
smoke
smoke
fentanyl,
fentanyl,
to
to
inject heroin in their arms
arms
in
in
public
public
spaces.
spaces.
I can dig
And
it.
it's
And it's
very
very
important that
important
we
that
are
we are
consistent
But what
consistent
about the housing
and that
crisis,
we
and that
man?
we
sustain
You know, this is only happening
this effort.
because there's a lot of homeless shit going
because
on.
to do it for 2 weeks
not
is
going to
not
help
going to
us
help
long
us
term.
long term.
And
And
again,
again,
it
it
takes
takes
resources,
resources, it takes a commitment,
and it
and it
takes
takes
a
a
desire
desire
to
to
sustain this
sustain this
effort.
effort.
What?
This
This
department will
department
own
will
its
own
San
its
shortcomings.
Francisco
shortcomings.
does
We're
have
not a
options.
Perfect department,
even though we
even though
try
we
to
try
be
to
I
that.
be
can't
that.
get into it like that.
But I can
But I can say
one
one
thing,
thing,
I like his nervous stuttering though.
that the
that the
commitment
commitment is there.
Given the
Given the
resources,
resources, we know
we can
we can
have
have
better
outcomes
than
than
what
what
we've
we've
seen.
seen,
And we can
and we
have
can have
consistent
consistent
outcomes.
outcomes.
And we
And
want
we
to be
want to
held
be held
accountable
accountable
for those resources.
resources.
I want to be held accountable
for
for the use of those
resources
resources
efficiently.
but we
But
need
we
the
need the
resources.
And what
resources.
about
Make
when
no
they kill
mistake about it.
somebody because they're detaining them? And what
Using
about
Using
all the other
technology.
shit? Do they, get trigger happy because
I
somebody's
can't
having
say
a
it
mental
any better than
meltdown?
stated, but I will say this because I've been doing this
for
job for almost 33
I just
years
want to
now.
know. What are the realistic
If we can't
possibilities?
use the technology we have in a way that protects civil liberties, but still addresses the crime and the criminal issues that have been disclosed,
then why do
then
we
why do
have
we
it?
have it?
Because you're fucking spine. Yeah, there you go.
You are the
You are the
one
one
that is suffering from a victim of a violent crime, or you are the shop owner or storekeeper that had your business demolished and looted. It's a little consolation to say,
and
we can
we
get
can
the
get the
video
video after you've been
victimized.
victimized.
It's a
It's
little
a little
consolation.
consolation.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
helps in the
investigations.
investigations.
Yeah, there's value to it,
But we
but
need
we
to
need
do
to do
better.
better.
What happens when
have
everybody's
to
time
do
runs
better.
out, though, and you got to let them back out?
And
And
lastly,
lastly,
we've
we've
seen
seen
what
what
happened
happened
in our city in Union Square on November
19th.
19th. It's not the
It's not
first
the
time
first
it's
time
happened, but it's the first time it happened in that nature. And then we saw it happening everywhere else. I'm here to
I'm here to
tell
tell
you
you
that
that
increased
increased
deployment
deployment
made and continues to make a difference. Again, from people's lips to my ears, seeing it with my own eyes, walking alongside the officers. And I've done this all over the city. But in Union Square, after the world was set on edge with what they saw, the people that have to go there and work every day, the people that have to take transportation to get there, the people that want to come there and shop, without looking over their shoulder, wondering if 50 people are going to run in the store with hammers and golf clubs and guns and knives or whatever else they're having. It matters to them that we're there. And it matters to them that we stay there. So we need to sustain this effort. So you have our commitment. I want to thank my public safety partners, our elected officials for supporting this effort. But we need to do better. It's a little consolation. Yeah, it helps in the investigations. Yeah, there's value to it. But we need to do better. We have to do better. And lastly, we've seen what happened in our city in Union Square on November 19th. It's not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time it happened in that nature. And then we saw it happening everywhere else. I'm here to tell you
that increased deployment made and continues to make a difference. Again, from people's lips to my ears, seeing it with my own eyes, walking alongside the officers. And I've done this all over the city. But in Union Square, after the world was set on edge with what they saw, the people that have to go there and work every day, the people that have to take transportation to get there, the people that want to come there and shop, without looking over their shoulder, wondering if 50 people are going to run in the store with hammers and golf clubs and guns and knives and whatever else they're having. It matters to them that we're there. And it matters to them that we stay there.
Oh, they're talking about this.
So we need to sustain this effort. So you have our commitment. I want to thank my public safety partners, our elected officials for supporting this effort. Chief Nicholson, Fire Chief, Sheriff Miyamoto, and many others. Dr. Colfax and his team. We are all in this together.
According to TMZ, TMZ telling their brothers better than we ever had. They're like a couple individuals.
I'm so happy.
According to them, they were big ballers.
That will make sure that the same thing that we'll show the world with our COVID response, that we put our heads and our minds and our collective efforts together, this city can lead the nation. And we did on COVID, and I strongly believe we can do it with the issues and the challenges that we have in our city. Whether it be the tenderloin, retail theft, violent crime, or any other thing that we face. We can do it when we do it together, and we have the support and the resources to get us there. So thank you. And
with that, they've already found like half of them that did that. They weren't people of the tenderloin. That you know that. I was watching this shit on fucking TMZ.
Thank you, Chief Scott, and thank you, Mayor Breed. Emergency management provides coordination during times of crisis. And today, as you've heard, there is no more significant crisis than what's happening on our streets, and especially in the Tenderloin. During the pandemic, San Francisco demonstrated what can be accomplished when the city and community work together. We are going to draw on our expertise developed during the COVID response and bring the same level of focus and coordination to address the crisis in the Tenderloin. At the Mayor's direction, the Department of Emergency Management has established a multi-agency incident management team. And we are going to collaborate with our community partners. Over the next few months, the team will coordinate focused crisis operations through a multi-phased approach. The first phase, which is our assessment phase, is already underway. And we are analyzing the top challenges in the neighborhood and the resources that will be needed to address them. Through meetings with community stakeholders and residents, we have developed a shared understanding of the challenges we will address. These include many that you've heard already, public substance abuse and linking people in crisis to care and support services, enforcement and the disruption of criminal activity, and infrastructure improvement that supports safe passage and accessibility. Our next phase of operations will begin later this month and will focus on rolling out specific mitigations that address our most destructive problems. During this phase,
but we look close enough. Oh, motherfucking T.I. right there, panhandling somebody right in the street. We don't talk about that.
Wraparound services at a new temporary linkage site.
When the site is established, it will allow individuals in crisis to access basic needs like hygiene and connect them to resources like substance abuse treatment and housing.
Stop that right there. Crazy, right? I'm still curious about the nervousness and the nonsense. And this bro don't even believe what she's saying. Look, there's a whole act of police brutality right here. But we ain't gonna talk about that though. Right, because they mad motherfucking heroes, right? We're not gonna talk about that. They got there mad quick.
The committee will hear directly from the department.
My bad, hold on a second. Get back over here. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. I saw like 2 incidences of motherfucking police brutality in these little videos. Oh, let's see if I can get the video.
Smash out the windows. Source telling us that at least one person inside that car had to be taken to the hospital. KPI sides captured video of police detaining one person at the scene. SFPD also confirming multiple suspects have been already arrested. And there have been, of course,
just see how they ran up on old boy. Look.
Smash out the windows. Source telling us that at least one person inside that car had to be taken to the hospital. KPI sides captured video of
look, they're running up on him.
One person at the scene.
Look.
SFPD also confirming multiple suspects.
Look. That's police brutality right there.
Of course, a number of high.
No, we're talking about that though.
All over the Bay Area, including Union Square, which has been hit hard several times since last year. Back out here,
kicking, punching.
Gray Mustang right near the store. Police officers and investigators still surrounding that car, searching that car at this hour. Police are responding to other stores in the area that have also been vandalized. This is still an ongoing investigation. As you can see, heavy police presence here tonight in Union Square. Kenny, quickly, did I hear you right? Did you say 12? According to one witness I spoke to,
horrible, right? We're not gonna talk about that shit.
At least 12, perhaps more, but that's what we're hearing from witnesses out here at the scene. Alan, right? We'll let them sort it all out. Kenny, join thanks.
Hold on, I gotta get this motherfucking troll out my shit. Man, I'm done. Let's see. At least I don't want to see it. Yeah, that's what's going on over there. So they mad about the Louis Vuitton store and a whole bunch of other shit. Somebody's in their bag about how they couldn't get a bag and, fucking free range looting. However, and let's talk about that police brutality though. Let's talk about that. Because it's because it rained, don't mean you gotta run up on, like they ran up on them. That's like just one incident.
Breaking news. Yeah, smash and grab news. Yeah, smash and
grab. That's like 2 incidents right here.
Pulling off a big heist at the Louis Vuitton store in San Francisco's
Union
Square.
This real fast.
This comes just days after a robbery crew cleaned out a diamond jewelry store at Sun Valley Mall in Concord.
KPI X5's Kenny Choi.
Sun Valley.
Bob Horn were the first crew on the scene there tonight. Kenny.
Yeah, I'm just laughing because it's what this is about, really. Property. Can't feel safe to shop anymore. Cameras aren't working.
Doors and windows of that Louis Vuitton store smashed, glass littering the sidewalk. Several
I think it's the other video, but
blocked off and still are. According to a police source, this began as a smash and grab, then turned into a robbery a little after 8 p.m. Spoke to one witness who says that more than a dozen people could be seen running out of the store, clinging to merchandise and hauling as much as they could. At one point, SFPD officers could be seen surrounding a gray convertible Mustang with one patrol car blocking it. Several officers taking their batons to smash out the windows. Source telling us that at least one person inside that car had to be taken to the hospital. KPI sides captured video of police detaining one person.
Look at how they're doing them.
SFPD also confirming
mad dirty.
Suspects have been already arrested, and there have been, of course, a number of high-end heists.
You want more of that, huh?
Including Union Square, which has been hit hard several times since last year.
Look at that. You see that shit?
You could see that.
Punching and
right near the store.
They're doing old boy dirty. They were breaking down the motherfucking windows though. Same. They want to talk about that. They want to talk about their missing motherfucking property. They was talking about it out here too, and I was just like, for real, this is real shit. Like, we're really upset about this. Like, for real? Like, let's not talk about that police brutality that's happening right there in front of them, on camera. And, you know, if I'm showing it a couple times, but they intentionally showed that like 3 times on their own shit. Message. All right. Moving along. No, we're not watching that. Oh, fuck. I can't remember the word. So we'll get back into that later. And I just wanted to check on this thing. So, you know, me and the Daryl Brooks thing, I've been following it. I really, I'm like, I don't know why y'all are poor man. You know, can we get some support, Black family? And can we get some support? That's all I gotta say about that. Hey, you not following the train of thought right there.
From fun shoes for kids to stylish
I don't know.
footwear
I'm
for
starting to
adults,
wonder.
Plus apparel and gift cards, all at an incredible value. Happy holidays from Skechers, the comfort technology company.
Shit. This is all trolling and nonsense. Let's see, block users.
As your environment grows,
I think if you're not speaking in proper English and you're trying to scam the, you know, just, they're like, yeah, don't, man, just get blocked for real. Don't even open that shit. Shit's probably a virus or it's definitely not intelligible. Yeah, let's get back to this though. You know, I just want to talk about this because the whole, I'm going to turn this off. Okay, yeah, because I want to just talk about this Mr. Daryl Brooks for a little bit. Because I feel like they're not really talking about him much, and it's kind of making me wonder why. And I don't, you know, I'm curious, but I'm curious for my own little nefarious reasons. By my count so far, I think I got like 18 legitimate causes for reasonable doubt. For genuine reasonable doubt. You know, I'm just going off of that because get the man some support. Get a man a letter. Can we help the brother out? And I don't want to hear anything about motherfuckers in there and they're not turning motherfucking dreams of grandeur or any of that shit. Any of that. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Ever get a life. Let's see what is going on over here. Let's go back. So let's just remind you about what's going on. Mr. Daryl Brooks. It's been I personally have thought that he's getting what happens to most motherfuckers in the criminal history, and that, you know, tragedy happens. He's getting the book thrown at him. He got like, it's severe. So I'm trying to find something to catch you up, family, so we can all be on the same page. So that way we can talk about the following part of why I'm so interested. And I think you should be interested too. And I think we should really be asking these questions. I guess I'm gonna be the villain today. It's the role I play on the weekends. Let's go with 3 weeks. Let's go try a different news network. Equally not.
And what the police chief there, Chief Thompson, tried to do was really separate fact from fiction, saying we know there's been a lot of speculation out there. So it came down to a couple things he wanted to stress. There was no evidence of terror here. He did not, despite some reports that you may have seen on social media, know anyone involved in the parade, that he was involved in some sort of domestic disturbance. And before police could even arrive, he had broken through the barricades. He has been identified as 39-year-old Daryl E. Brooks of Milwaukee. Brian Polson is in the newsroom. Brian, since last night when you first learned who this was, you have been investigating. Tell us everything we know about this suspect.
Well, and I want to be
separate fact from fiction, saying really separate fact from fiction, saying we know there's been a lot of speculation out there, so it came down to a couple things he wanted to stress. There was no evidence of terror here. He did not, despite some reports that you may have seen on social media, know anyone involved in the parade, that he was involved in some sort of domestic disturbance, and before police could even arrive, he had broken through the barricades. He has been identified as 39-year-old Daryl E. Brooks of Milwaukee. Brian Polson is in the newsroom. Brian, since last night when you first learned who this was, you have been investigating. Tell us everything we know about this suspect.
Well, and I want to be clear, there's been a lot of speculation on social media, which doesn't seem to hesitate to put a fact out whether or not it's verifiable. Everything I'm about to tell you comes from court records that have been verified. The big question we're all wondering, how in the world could someone barrel through a holiday parade full of children and families? But another question that is likely to haunt those families going forward is, why was 39-year-old Daryl Brooks Jr. out of jail in the first place? This is not the first time Brooks has been accused of running someone over with his SUV. It's not even the first time this month. Brooks has a long and a violent criminal record that includes everything from drugs and guns to strangulation and battery. He's fathered children with at least 3 different women, a fact that will become relevant in just a moment. In 2011, he tried to flee from Milwaukee police, and an officer wrote in his report that he felt Brooks was trying to run him over with his car. This is 10 years ago. The officer jumped into the car, wrestled the wheel away from Brooks, who then ran away on foot and was arrested. He was charged with a misdemeanor. But it's what happened in just the past 2 years that already has the Milwaukee County DA calling for changes in the county's pretrial release system. It was July of 2020, 4 months into the pandemic, when Brooks allegedly got into an argument with his nephew, and he fired a gun at him. This is at a house on North 19th Street. It's a gun Brooks shouldn't have even had because he's a felon. He was arrested for that incident, charged with multiple felonies, ordered not to have contact with his nephew, his mother who lives and owns the house, and others. Bail was set at $10,000. But 7 months later, in February of this year, a judge reduced that bail to just $500. A man named Isaiah Davis, who we were not able charged with multiple felonies, ordered not to have contact with his nephew, his mother who lives and owns the house, and others. Bail was set.
Well, who put the restraining order out? Back that track up.
Ran away on foot and was arrested. He was charged with a misdemeanor. But it's what happened in just the past 2 years that already has the Milwaukee County DA calling for changes in the county's pretrial release system. It was July of 2020, 4 months into the pandemic, when Brooks allegedly got into an argument with his nephew, and he fired a gun at him. This is at a house on North 19th Street. It's a gun Brooks shouldn't have even had because he's a felon. He was arrested for that incident, charged with multiple felonies, ordered not to have contact with his nephew, his mother who lives and owns the house, and others. Bail was set at $10,000. But 7 months later, in February of this year, a judge reduced that bail to just $500. A man named Isaiah Davis, who we were not able to get a hold of on deadline today, posted bail. Brooks was released at that time. This is again in February of this year. He was placed on what's known as intensive pretrial supervision through Justice Point. But because of the pandemic, even level 5 intensive supervision requires no in-person contact, just phone appointments. One of the conditions of his release was that he commit no new crimes. Earlier this month, November 2nd, Brooks arrested again, this time for allegedly beating a woman with whom he shares a child. But get this, police say he also used his car to run the woman over, leaving her face bloody and tire tracks on her pants leg. The car he's accused of using to do it? A 2010 maroon Ford Escape. The same vehicle, police say, was used in the parade massacre on Sunday. On November 10th, this is just a couple of weeks ago, Justice Point issued a violation notice to the court because of that new crime. Remember, he wasn't supposed to commit any crimes while he was out. But the very day after that violation report was issued, Veterans Day, again, this is 11 days ago now, Brooks posted $500 cash bail. Who paid for it? His mother, Dawn Woods, even though he's under a court order to have no contact with her. After that $500 bail was posted, court records in Waukesha show Brooks ended up in the Waukesha County Jail for a hearing on unpaid child support. During that hearing, this is last Tuesday, the state of Wisconsin asked a judge to throw him in jail even longer for being tens of thousands of dollars behind on paying child support to yet another mother with whom he shares a child. But instead, last Tuesday, November 16th, that judge released him on his own recognizance, setting a review hearing for next month. 5 days later, after he was released from Waukesha, Brooks is now accused of driving that 2010 Ford Escape through the Waukesha Holiday Parade, killing 5 people, injuring dozens more, and traumatizing a community for years to come. In the newsroom,
I was just going to
Brian
say it
Polson,
like this.
Fox 6 investigators.
They don't just change
And
their
Brian,
mind
this
for
Ford
any old
Escape
reason.
has played a role in videos. This guy fancies himself as some sort of rapper. In a video he made, that vehicle
what was she
is...
doing in front of the whip? And why did she put herself in that position? And let's be honest. Everybody's had a live-ass relationship. It's all in your face, and you're trying to get away from it. It just won't let you leave, you know? I'm going to play devil's advocate shit. It happens to men, too. What could you think? I've done it. I've been guilty of it, too. Where you going? You ain't going to leave. You just going to turn around and walk away. And there's dysfunctional shit, too. Why did mommy bail him out? Because that's what she does. That's who he talks to. Why did he have the gun? Because, you know, he's a felon. What was the real dynamics of that whole situation? What was the real situation going on? They don't just drop bond on serious shit like that and let you out, keep letting you out for a reason because some sort of doubt going on. Some sort of doubt going on. It's like, oh, wait. Now that I'm hearing the facts, there's more to it. There's always more to it. Here we go. I just, I'm so invested in their fucking due diligence. Because, contrary to popular belief that we've been watching lately, this is the most informative it's gotten lately. There's other motherfuckers that doing atrocities. So
prominently displayed. And it's even shown, if you look up the address he's connected to, the address where his mother lives, where the shooting took place 2 years ago, if you happen to look it up through Google Maps, and you go to Street View, guess what's parked out front? A red Ford Escape. So he's obviously been driving that for some time. And again, that's the vehicle he's accused of using to run a woman over just a few weeks ago, and then using it again to allegedly run down so many people in this parade.
Yeah. Clearly hearing the pattern of behavior there and everything that happened before this, it was almost like a foreshadowing of something worse to come. And it is a shame that this whole thing fell through the cracks. I mean, clearly this man should not have been out
trying to flee from a serious,
it's certainly a difficult thing if you imagine being one of those families who's dealing with grief right now, to know that had any one of these judges along the way said, no, that's just not enough bail, or no, we're going to need to hold him a little bit longer, he would not have been free to commit this act on Sunday, and obviously those lives would not have been affected in this way. It's not to say there wouldn't have been some other incident down the road, but certainly there were many chances for him not to be on the street this past weekend, and he was.
Ryan, you have so much more to tell us about it. We're going to let you go to do more of your amazing reporting on this. We thank you.
Argonaut Wine and Liquor is Colorado's largest superstore. We have over 40,000 square feet of space and more than 15,000 items. That's the largest selection in town at the best prices. Plus, we deliver, and parking is free. Join our preferred shopper program.
I'm not going to give old boy not even an ounce of doubt. Okay.
I'm guilty of any one of these, a multitude of them. It's a life imprisonment sentence that must be meted out. So I have no problem. I just, with that bail, it's extraordinarily high, but it's an extraordinarily big case.
For the benefit
it's an
of doubt.
Extraordinarily
he's not getting due process.
Serious case with an extraordinary history of this gentleman, of fleeing, of hurting people, of not following court orders,
Look
not
at
following
the situation dude was in. First of all, why are you going to even get in front of the car, Rod? Let's ask that question. What was she doing to antagonize? Why did he feel he must leave? Why did he feel he must leave?
I know that that's extraordinarily high bail. It's warranted here, and I'm setting cash bail in the amount of $5 million. And with that, we're going to select
she stands in the way from it, trying to prevent you from fleeing for whatever reasons you have to go, right?
Commissioner, we would be waiving time limits. We did $5 million cash bail for 39-year-old Daryl Brooks, now criminally charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide following the mowing down of parade participants Sunday during the Waukesha Christmas parade. But Ben,
they ain't hearing none of that shit. Okay, he's actually in a turtle suit. Clearly not okay. I'm laughing because it's so fucking thorough right now. Like, so thorough.
And what the police chief there, Chief Thompson, tried to do was really separate fact from fiction, saying we know there's been a lot.
We're just sitting back chilling, right? Sitting back chilling. Just, well, let's just see what happens. See how this evolves. Let's find out what this cat has to say. Wait. No, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait because earlier in my previous thoughts, I didn't like how this shit went down either. Dude, the dude was like, he was a real mark for that. But why weren't the police around at the first spot if they were coming to get him? Right? He allegedly, he don't even have the car because he's inside this dude's house eating a sandwich, chopping it up on the phone. It's crazy, man. Shit is just unreal. Hold on. At least from that
This is Dr.
standpoint, I
Grande.
at least got
Today's question
13
is,
counts
can I
of
analyze the
reasonable
case
doubt.
of the Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade attack? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. So first I'll look at the background of this case, and I'll offer my analysis. On November 21, 2021, the 58th annual Christmas parade was being held in Waukesha, Wisconsin. This is a western suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At about 4:39 p.m., an individual driving a red Ford Escape smashed through the barricades and plowed through the participants in the parade at a speed of about 40 miles per hour. A police officer fired 3 shots into the vehicle, but the SUV did not stop. Some reports indicated that the SUV was weaving back and forth as if the operator was intentionally trying to run over people.
There were no police
At the time making this video, 6 people have died as a result of the attack. They range in age from 8 years to 81 years old. At least 62 people were injured.
What makes us stronger is often invisible.
Advanced Genifique Serum, patented formula. 15 years of scientific research in one drop. Skin barrier is strong.
The police found the red SUV and arrested a 39-year-old man named Daryl Brooks Jr. It appears as though he made his way to a house and asked the occupant if he could call Uber for him. The occupant became nervous when police vehicles started driving by the house. He told Brooks to leave, which he did. Brooks then returned to the porch, claiming he left his identification inside the house. One of the neighbors called the police. Brooks was approached by the police as he was standing on the porch. Brooks is facing multiple first-degree intentional homicide charges and may be charged with other crimes as well. The police indicated that Daryl Brooks may have been involved in a domestic disturbance right before the attack. This incident may have involved a knife. The police said they were not chasing him when he allegedly committed the murders at the parade. Brooks is the only suspect in this attack. The police are not expecting to make any more arrests. At the time of the attack, Daryl Brooks was out on a $1,000 bond. He was facing several charges related to running over a woman with his vehicle in the parking lot for a gas station. The victim was the mother of his child. The criminal complaint indicates that the police noticed the victim had tire tracks on the left leg of her pants and blood on her face. Brooks was charged with recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, battery, obstructing an officer, and bail jumping. So he was already suspected of jumping bail, yet he was given bail again, and it was only set at $1,000. The Milwaukee County District Attorney said that Brooks should not have been released on such a low bond. Daryl Brooks' criminal history extends well beyond the charges for the parade attack and the gas station incident.
Wait. We only got out a week before.
The complaint indicates that the police noticed the victim had tire tracks on the left leg of her pants and blood on her face. Brooks was charged with recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, battery, obstructing an officer, and bail jumping. So
there was no officer there, right? How's he obstructing an officer? And bail jumping, you only get out a week.
with his vehicle in the parking lot for a gas station. The victim was the mother of his child. The criminal complaint indicates that the police noticed the victim had tire tracks on the left leg of her pants and blood on her face. Brooks was charged with recklessly endangering safety, disorderly conduct, battery, obstructing an officer, and bail jumping. So he was already suspected of jumping bail, yet he was given bail again, and it was only set at $1,000. The Milwaukee County District Attorney said that Brooks should not have been released on such a low bond. Darrell Brooks' criminal history extends well beyond the charges for the parade attack and the gas station incident. I will go through several of these charges. Most of these charges occurred in Wisconsin. I will specify when the charges occurred outside of Wisconsin. In 1999, Brooks was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and aggravated battery. In 2000, he was charged with carrying a concealed weapon, resisting or obstructing an officer, and the possession of cocaine. In 2002, he was charged with resisting or obstructing an officer, possession of THC, and taking and driving a vehicle without consent. In 2003, he was once again charged with resisting or obstructing an officer. He would receive the same charge again in 2005. This appears to be one of his favorites. Almost 2 months later, he was charged with receiving stolen property and possession of a controlled substance. In 2006, Brooks was convicted in the state of Nevada for statutory sexual seduction. His victim was 15 years old.
That's fucking crazy.
In 2009, Brooks was back in Wisconsin. He was arrested on a warrant for previous charges. In 2010, Brooks was arrested for felony strangulation and suffocation, battery, and criminal damage to property. In 2011, he was charged with violating probation, possession of THC, and bail jumping. In 2020, Brooks was arrested for the possession of a firearm by someone convicted of a felony, recklessly endangering safety, and possession of methamphetamine. Allegedly, Brooks had been in a physical altercation with his nephew about an old cell phone when Brooks discharged a firearm. Many of the charges against Brooks were dismissed, but he was convicted of several, including felonies. I skipped over some of the charges in his criminal history. He's got a lot there. For example, he had multiple failure to appear charges and a few paternity warrants. In addition, it appears as though Brooks may have been in trouble with the law in other places. For example, he had once been incarcerated in Georgia. In 2021, as I mentioned, he was charged with running over his girlfriend and the murders at the parade. At the time making this video, Brooks' bail was set at $5 million. Brooks has an interesting history on social media. It appears as though he was an aspiring rapper using the name Math Boy. He claimed to be the next breakout artist from the Midwest who was finally ready to put Milwaukee back on the map. So I guess at some point Milwaukee was removed from the map and he was just trying to get it restored.
Let it go.
Looking at some of the lyrics of the songs, Brooks said that he was a terrorist, a killer, and he did not like the police or Donald Trump. One of his rap videos featured a red SUV that looks a lot like a Ford Escape. On a Facebook page that appears to belong to Darrell Brooks, he made a few interesting statements. In response to the Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty verdict, Brooks indicated that he was not surprised. Brooks also appeared not to be a fan of white people, advocating violence against this group, and he mentioned he had an affinity for Adolf Hitler. Now moving to my analysis. There are several questions that are brought up by this case. I will go through each one of them here. Why was a career criminal like Darrell Brooks out on bail in the first place? Some areas like Wisconsin have tried to eliminate or reduce cash bail. The idea is that when someone is arrested, they are presumed innocent. If they are kept in jail before their trial, they will lose their job, it will damage their relationships, and they may plead guilty just to get out of jail. This is something that happens quite often. In addition, the cash bail system tends to discriminate against minorities. I don't necessarily think that reducing bail is a bad idea, but I think that this plan has been executed without proper research. It's almost like lawmakers and the courts are just guessing. They're playing around with all the dials and levers on this big switchboard without knowing the effect of the changes that they're making. It's almost like the Swedish chef from the Muppets, just kind of moving around but not really cooking anything. They somehow believe that just randomly making changes is the solution to the problem, but it rarely is. I'm not really sure this whole initiative applies to Brooks in the first place, considering he was repeatedly charged with violent felonies. His bail should have been set much higher because he was a danger to the community. It's not clear if Darrell Brooks ever met a police officer who he did not resist and obstruct. Next question. If Darrell Brooks was the parade killer, what was his motive? The authorities have been very careful to avoid attributing the motive to the Rittenhouse verdict. Some in the media have gone even further, declaring that there was no evidence that the Rittenhouse verdict was a motive for this crime. I find this interesting because the parade murders occurred just 2 days after the Rittenhouse verdict, and Waukesha, Wisconsin is 55 miles from Kenosha, so they're relatively close.
I'll pause right here. Look, anybody who's had problems with the law, been manhandled, touched, beat up by a police officer, any kind of threatening malfunction of the police, automatically have a natural distaste for the fucking law, myself included. Natural distaste for white people, myself included. Okay? There's reasons for this kind of shit. And it sounded like he was just in a spiral. Yeah, just one situation after another. However, I don't know. I'm not a good look on for a lot of different things. I'm always gonna throw your shit up against you. You know what I mean? That's what they do. That's their point. I ain't even trying to, develop some rap shit. Of course, we're gonna try to link that up to the Rittenhouse thing. I mean, he wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. Were you really surprised, Black family? This is not like they were kind of preparing this shit to kind of happen, and you know what I mean? But it's not like oh my God, I wonder who's just gonna wild out and just do something to white people after we let our prodigal savior out. The kid can't do no wrong. Right? The whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Come on now. Were you really surprised? Seems kind of natural to not be surprised, right? I'm not surprised that happened at all. That he's gonna be the poster child, and he's just free range, fucking talking shit to this, and wah. And he's getting the fucking pat on the back by white supremacy. Come on now, are you really surprised? No, shouldn't be. So, shouldn't be. Are you really surprised that they're like, he has a natural affinity for distaste for the law and trying to run off from the police and fight with them and avoid them, and fear and distaste for white people altogether. I think I haven't seen a lot of Black people in this little section that they're talking about. He might be the only guy there. Just have to say, show me another one and make me a believer. He might be the only Black guy. Because I haven't seen any other Black people there, especially in this parade or anybody talking about, oh boy, they're just showing this one Black dude. I think he's the representative of somebody they want to fuck with. And where were the police in any of this shit, from the gas station where, he allegedly ran over the bride in front of his car or whatever hype he reads it. Okay. Nobody got him there. And he just broke through the barricades. And there's no police, right? And all of a sudden there was police, and they bucked off a couple rounds. What a video for that. I want to see that. Because they didn't show none of that, right? Bucking off like 3 rounds. And then enough time to ditch the whip, mob to some white dude's house, eat a whole sandwich, chop it up with your mama. Make a white boy feel uncomfortable that he got to give you the jacket he loaned you or gave because he was trying to, do something for homelessness or whatever the fuck that excuse was about. Let you walk out the door and then turn around and be like, well, that's that guy right there that you're looking for. He's right there. He must be the only black guy there. But make me a believer that there's others. I have yet to see one so far.
Who knows what the motive was, but certainly there is some evidence supporting it was tied to the Rittenhouse verdict. I think the lesson learned on this point would be that trying to make the Rittenhouse trial about racism, when it was really about the limits of self-defense, has the potential to encourage some people to be violent, especially those without critical thinking skills. There will always be certain people who don't understand.
The Kyle Rittenhouse thing was not about racism coming from them. Self-defense and what? Like, sell it how you want to. Sell it however you're going to sell it. Look at the little face, too. Like, I can't believe you're even thinking that this was about racism. And, it's all about the what? Back this fucking hilarious track up for a second.
About racism, when it was really about the limits of self-defense.
What?
Has the potential to encourage.
Slap yourself. Reals. That's the stupidest shit ever. First of all, let's carry on. Really, you know exactly what the fuck this was about. And you just go ahead and just toss that on over with. I'm just talking about this coded highway and shit. Like, we just think about finding a lawyer. And where are the motherfucking pastors for this shit? Yeah, you guys are really slacking over here. Like, nobody gonna stand up for this like this. Man, can somebody even just talk about it over there? So these motherfucking selective fucking ambulance chasing motherfucking Sharptons and shit. Where the fuck are they right now? There I say, cooning it up somewhere. What the fuck are they doing? Definitely not helping his brother out with even talking about. Maybe he has some points. Yeah, he clearly did some fuckery. Clearly guilty of this. Clearly got a bad record. Clearly got some shit going on. No, there's at least I started off with 18 reasonable doubts. We're going to stick with my 14 for right now at this point. 14 reasonable doubts that I could arguably create. I could create, okay? Even so, like, let's go ahead and tie this all into little fucking Kyle Rittenhouse. He's just getting all the shine, huh?
Encourage some people to be violent, especially those without critical thinking skills. There will always be certain people who don't understand the idea of dialogue and debate. They take things too far. They get really excited about an issue and want to act on it without actually doing their own research and understanding the issue. I also find it interesting that there is such reluctance to assign motives in the parade murders when the alleged...
Do you hear what he said? I don't know if that applies to Kyle Rittenhouse too.
...to be violent, especially Wisconsin is 55 miles from Kenosha, so they're relatively close. Who knows what the motive was, but certainly there is some evidence supporting it was tied to the Rittenhouse verdict. I think the lesson learned on this point would be that trying to make the Rittenhouse trial about racism, when it was really about the limits of self-defense, has the potential to encourage some people to be violent, especially those without critical thinking skills. There will always be certain people who don't understand the idea.
Does that apply to Kyle Rittenhouse? Let's ask ourselves that, Black family. Does that apply to Kyle Rittenhouse too when he crossed over state lines with a motherfucking AR or whatever the fuck he had, on another protest of some serious shit that happened over there on the protecting whatever fucking bullshit he gave up. Does that apply to him too? Because he definitely wasn't using critical thinking skills. Do you think he went a little too far? He's just acting out. Does that apply to him too? Because if it don't apply to him, why is it applying to this situation? Where are the motherfucking ambulance chasing motherfucking fucking kumbaya ass motherfucking Sharptons of the world? And whatever the fuck other dude, whatever that fucking irrelevant ass dude's name was, this last shit with Ahmad with Power Robot. Yeah, with that guy. What about them? Like, where the fuck are they in this shit? Okay, like, you're not gonna get on this shit. Selectively picking it, which ones you're gonna choose. I can at least create 14 reasonable doubts. Charges of reasonable doubts. Just to kind of look into. 3 off the car alone, okay? I got questions. But I want to know if he gonna apply that same motherfucking logic to fucking the poster child right here. Because he definitely was not using his brain. And he don't even get the young motherfucking pass and the he says let's go ahead and tie that into him. Okay, family.
Of dialogue and debate. They take things too far. They get really excited about an issue and want to act.
Does that apply to Kyle Rittenhouse? Or any? I just want to know. Did he take it too far? Did he get too excitable?
Act on it without actually doing their own research and understanding the issue. I also find it interesting that there is such reluctance to assign motives in the parade murders when the alleged perpetrator has made pretty clear racist statements. Some have argued that there...
Allegedly. Who knows if he even put that shit out there himself? Even so, Black family. I was just waiting for y'all to get on board with this. Like, I'm not like this. Some of you can say it like that. I'm just waiting for you guys to follow this coded rabbit hole down there with me. Just follow the coded rabbit hole down there. And just can nobody do anything about this, or at least, we can't even discuss it, huh? We're just gonna sit quietly. All right.
There is a double standard at work as far as the media coverage and speculation. It's almost like the media is not concerned with honesty. Rather, they're just pushing whatever narrative they feel aligns with their political beliefs. This is also part of the problem, which leads to distorted interpretations of various events. Moving to the last question, how can crimes like this be prevented? I think there are a few ways. Item number 1, political polarization needs to be reduced. More intelligent conversations need to occur around these topics, not just knee-jerk reactions. Some crimes are not tied to any popular political topic. Not everything has a secret or deeper meaning. At some point, irresponsible assertions can cross into the area of inciting violence. Discretion is required. And unfortunately,
does this count in all factors of racism and white supremacy and real intentions when it comes to crossing over and, shooting, regardless if it's your own or not, or whatever the fuck your reasons are, whatever bullshit you got away with, Does that apply to them too? Because that motherfucker's clearly the poster child right now for all sorts of fucking errors and mistakes and getting the good old boy fucking pat on the back. And we over here just like, out of sight, out of mind, because I'm looking around, I have to dig for this type of shit. It's been like 3 weeks and it's quiet. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
There is a shortage of discretion at this time. Item number 2, career criminals who have proven they cannot function in society without hurting people should be in prison. This one is pretty straightforward.
Or maybe there's something really wrong with old boy. I mean, look, maybe if there's something really wrong with old boy, okay? And we're not really talking about it. And you have enough, you snap. Cause to be fucked with, eventually you're gonna snap, right? But you don't want to talk about it because he's black. And he has a real underlying fucking condition like, I don't know, PTSD, schizophrenia, schizoid affective disorder, bipolar mania, depression. Any of these fucking diagnoses they give everybody else. I mean, can't we just ponder that? Or are you just gonna just stop right there like, oh fuck, he got a repeated record. Okay, yeah, that looks bad. It's definitely not looking good. But he's clearly in a motherfucking turtle suit at this point. You know, we want to talk about it. You know, we want to talk about maybe he has some real serious security issues and, you know, traumatized by the police. So he's in that fight or flight mode all the time. Clearly homeless and indigent. He's obviously in some sort of survival mode. Can't we just explore this mental health train? It's only okay for them, though. We're only okay for everybody else to be fucking insane and not have a... But not this guy. This guy is clearly all right in the brain, right? Clearly. He stayed real dependent on his mother and all this extra shit. Come on now. We can't just explore this at all. You're just going to sit here and just... Oh, well, you made your bed, but you're looking out. Thanks. Hell no.
Item number 3, mental health care that is mandated by the courts must be competent and meaningful. Darrell Brooks was repeatedly ordered to undergo mental health counseling. What did these counselors report about him? Did they think that he was safe? There needs to be a better relationship and communication between the mental health community and the courts.
What did they say?
Now moving to my final thoughts. Whatever the motive was for this crime, the victims are 100%.
They did say something about it, right?
He was safe. There needs to be a better career criminals who have proven they cannot function in society without hurting people should be in prison. This one is pretty straightforward. Item number 3, mental health care that is mandated by the courts must be competent and meaningful. Darrell Brooks was repeatedly ordered to undergo mental health counseling. What did these counselors report about him?
Oh, but we don't want to explore that, right? It's very just on some old renegade shit. Let's keep this on my 14 fucking marks. So I can create reasonable doubt right here. You just heard the white man say that he's reported repeatedly to get mental health treatment. I wonder why.
Did they think that he was safe? There needs to be a better relationship and communication between the mental health community and the courts. Now moving to my final thoughts. Whatever the motive was for this crime, the victims are 100% innocent. They were just enjoying the parade, not hurting anybody, when they were targeted by a killer. Whoever was responsible for this crime needs to stay in prison for life.
He's only a killer now, right? Because he technically killed 6 people, allegedly, with the vehicle. If anything, shouldn't have put it like that, you know? Because if it's a genuine accident, you really should think about that car looked pretty motherfucking fucked up from before. Told little fucking running over the baby mama thing. She said, I don't think he intentionally tried to kill 6 innocent people. And I don't think it was intentional, you know. But the way he just worded it was like, oh man, dude's been a killer his whole life. Nah, he's just been fucking probably trying to protect himself. And it sounds like a lot of talking about some real scary shit going on in somebody's fight or flight mode kicked in. Probably really, really motherfucking traumatized. Wonder what went on in his life. I don't know.
Regardless of any attempt, to justify the actions. Those are my thoughts on the 2021 Christmas parade murders.
I want to
Please put
deeper, but that's just me. What else? I just want to show this one little piece. That's actually looking at it because it was fucking whoa. This one. One second. Let me turn this off real fast, family. I can look at this. Okay, good. I'm doing all right on my time. 1 second. Oh. Okay. Let's just see. We're going to explore together.
Ridiculous liberal bail reform policy is now at the center of the horrific Christmas parade attack that killed 5 people and
violence. Also, I mean, an SUV, think of the carbon footprint. Whoever thought that putting violent criminals back on the street?
Incompetence. I agree with you. I'm only saying
50 pages? How long does it take for you to catch incompetence?
Okay, we'll dig into this a little bit because it's not very long. All I say. But I'm really looking for the phone call. So as we dig into this, we can listen to what these other individuals are saying. And let's see if I can get back to my original 18. I'm steady at the 14. I'm cool with that. 14 charges of reasonable doubt. Yeah. I could always build myself up a little bit more because I can see the right though. Just follow me down this pathway. Let's see. Let's go this way real quick. Oh, my heart hurts. Okay, Fergie's Fox News. Let's see.
Was fleeing another domestic violence incident before driving into the parade.
We have information that the suspect prior to the incident was involved in a domestic disturbance, which was just minutes prior. And the suspect left that scene just prior to our arrival to that domestic disturbance. We actually had a squad and barricades up, and he drove right through.
The Milwaukee County District Attorney is now launching an internal review into what he's calling an inappropriately low bail amount. Yeah, Judge, this DA is the guy that likes low bail. He ran on that.
Yeah, he did run on it. So, I like what he's doing. What he's doing here is he's saying, I'm going to take care of this, everybody. No problem. I don't know who the lowest person on the totem pole is who went to court on this case, but that person is in big trouble. No, it's you, the DA, who's in big trouble. And I'll tell you why. This is a rap sheet, okay? It's got, I understand it to have 50 pages. What you don't know, in addition to what we know from the news, and that is that he had a felony charged against him in July of 2020. He was already out on bail, had another felony charged against him on November 2nd. And he has been violated for bail. And then he goes to court on November 5th. And they give him bail at $1,000. But that's not the least of it. This guy, in all of these charges, he's a batterer, he's a drug addict, he's been carrying a gun since he was 18 years old, and he got all the benefits of the criminal justice system. But where he's caused strangulation against one woman, then he causes strangulation against another woman or the same woman. This time it has to be a felony, and they force the prosecutor to file a felony. But you go through this, and through all the police arrests, there's no prosecution. So this guy has used the system. The DA is the person who's at fault here, not the bail law.
What are the circumstances, though?
Just jump bail to give him $1,000 bail is ridiculous.
And Greg, if you watch CNN, it is a red SUV that's responsible for this carnage.
Because there's obviously two sides.
He was fleeing a knife fight. All right. So the root cause here is knife violence, and he was just a victim of systemic knife violence. Also, I mean, an SUV. Think of the carbon footprint. Whoever thought that putting violent criminals back on the streets was a wise decision. I think under the rubric of reform, we let our brains spill
I don't
out
know
of
if
our
this
skull.
dude's being serious or not. I'll have to explore this more later. But if dude was fearing for his life and he traded up from, knives, I mean, shouldn't we consider that as a thing? And, you know, maybe felt scared or whatever the fuck the reasons is. Okay. What the fuck was old girl doing trying to prevent the car, you know? When you put yourself in front of the vehicle, you're trying to stop the vehicle, right? Why? If you feel like if somebody feels caged or fucking in danger, they want to leave, right? You're gonna fucking make them stop. And what are the real reasons somebody wants to strangle you? Gentlemen? I mean, am I just gonna have to say it? Oh, okay, fuck it, I'll be the villain. Not have some wild ass girlfriend, baby mother, some really reckless ass girlfriend. It's all up in your motherfucking face and probably called you a bitch or some crazy shit. It's just so fucking disrespectful that you just snapped, or maybe too animated and you just snapped. I mean, some people with really serious fucking psychological fucking disorders. I don't know, keep throwing it out there. Schizophrenia, schizoid affective disorder, any of those sorts of psychotic disorders. I can go on all day. That don't like a lot of in your face fucking animation. Don't get too close to me, or you touched me, or I felt like that. Jesus. And I snapped. There's always a fucking reason. And they just go, I like how the sister does this, goes in on his ass. Yeah, it's 50 pages. It's a real bad look. They only really let you out for a fucking reason. They really have to look into it, though. They don't just say, oh, fuck it, we can't handle this one black guy in Wisconsin or whatever. Because I haven't seen anybody else. And they really don't do that. They actually look into it. The fuck is the point of pre-trial, right? Going to jail, they hit that pre-trial button and they make the phone calls and they ask if anybody's going to be responsible, make sure they get to court. Whoop-de why? Can somebody be, financially responsible for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They obviously know he don't show up, you know what I mean, or whatever. He has FTAs or he can't be responsible. Let's dig back into this mental health. Why can't he go to court? Like, does he have problems getting there? I mean, what's the real circumstances? This is, can anybody just put themselves in that situation? I've been arrested enough to know I have had the occasional FTA, failure to appear. Why? Fuck, it was far. I'm indigent. I don't have bus fare. I forgot. It was principle. It's designed for me to fail. I can't afford these fees. My ride didn't come pick me up. They don't care what I said. I mean, I can keep going, okay? What do you mean? I called in. Didn't my lawyer tell you? Oh, my God. What's wrong with your communication skills? I mean, I can go on about, all of this shit. Been to jail enough to know. It's not always as how they're portraying it. You know what I mean? And 50 motherfucking pages of your rap sheet. Shit. That means they pulled up every motherfucking case of everything he's did since the time he turned 18. Okay? So can we talk about what happened before that and why he's in flight mode and why he fears for he needed to carry a gun? Can we talk about this habitual homelessness that he got going on? Or the random thoughts about mental health? Can we discuss that? Can we discuss why you put yourself in the harm's way of in front of a car? We can talk about his, bad choices in girlfriends or whatever the fuck he's procreating with. Can we look at them for a little bit? Okay, because you can't just all blame the only black man in Wisconsin. What kind of fucking riffraff is he creeping around with that he had to get it to that level? It had to be provoked to that level. We're looking at that a little bit. I don't know. Keep at it.
Had a felony charged against him in July of 2020. He was already out on bail. Had another felony charged against him on November 2nd.
He's on a downward spiral.
He has been violated for bail. And then he goes to court on November 5th, and they give him bail at $1,000. But that's not the least of it. This guy, in all of these charges, he's a batterer, he's a drug addict, he's been carrying a gun since he was 18 years old, and he got all the benefits of the criminal justice system.
What benefit, bitch? What benefit did he get? What benefit did he get if he's been carrying a motherfucking a pistol for a reason since you're 18 years old? Why did you feel like you needed to protect yourself like that? I don't know. Let me think. Let me give you a couple good reasons why. I feel like I've been protecting myself ever since I've been out on the street, since I was a little girl. Me and Van, knives, right? Oh, it's a cold, cruel world out there. Dangerous. Motherfuckers always trying to take advantage of me. I don't know. Fucking perverts trying to rape on me. Men trying to kidnap me and try to exploit me and sell me off to the fucking next. I can go on all day. Motherfuckers trying to rob me. Motherfuckers just trying to take off my fucking one pair of shoes that I got. I can't go from this end of town to the other side of town because they just don't appreciate this blue I'm wearing. Man, everywhere I go, I'm getting fucked with. I can't even go and ask directions without somebody calling the police on me. And the police are always calling me and throwing me around and shit. I mean, I could just tell you I'm a girl, and I could just tell you that this is why this happens. I'm tired of getting fucked with. I'm tired of motherfuckers jumping on me and fucking me up because I'm different or weird, or they don't like me, or they don't like what I'm wearing, or they just too fucking jealous of me. I don't know why, but they must be fucking generational haters that can't just respect me and let me just be because I'm out maneuvering because I don't have no family and nobody takes care of me. God, I have to take care of myself. What fucking benefits for the motherfucking system do they really benefit from? It's a pass along, like probably everything else in this dude's earlier life. What kind of teenager was he? Was he that led to this shit? Yeah, can we look at that shit? Me, I was a habitual runaway. Right? I ran away from my own crib. I did some really dysfunctional shit. That's not what put me in the system, though. You feel me? And then it's been downward spiral, systemic motherfucking spiral. And fuck, I gotta take care of myself out there. I gotta feed myself. I gotta do this. I had a baby. You feel me? I gotta take care of this. I gotta fucking take care of that. I gotta learn how to survive. I gotta learn to take care of myself. There's a lot of motherfucking reasons why somebody his age has gotta carry a weapon. Look at him. Look at his size. Look, he's probably suffered all kind of fucking. Oh man, and he's in Wisconsin. Freaking picked on by all kind of motherfucking white people. I'm just gonna keep it very honest with myself. You know, I live in a city where I'm like, man, nobody appreciates me. I don't know what it is. I used to give you a whole grip when I went into the system. And it took me a long motherfucking time to learn how to defend myself because I wasn't given that. You know what I mean? I have real life issues that motherfuckers like to fuck with, and I didn't like it. So yeah, I would be fighting a lot and not always winning hardly ever and constantly getting fucked with religiously by the police. Religiously. Since I can't remember. So I can dig it. I can dig it, and I don't fucking feel bad about how I operate myself now as an adult because it's religious and it happens still. So now, can we dig a little deeper though? Can we find out? Can we can we get the real answers? You just go, degenerate, drug dealer, felon,
He's caused strangulation against one woman, then he causes strangulation against another woman or the same woman. This time it has to be a felony, and they force the prosecutor to file a felony. But you go through this, and through all the police arrests, there's no prosecution. So this guy has used the system. The DA is the person who's at fault here, not the bail law. That you would allow a guy who just jumped bail to give him $1,000 bail is ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't advocate for, choking out women. What are the circumstances?
Watch CNN. It is a red SUV that's responsible for this crime.
That must be the only red SUV, and he must be the only black guy.
Not his fault. He was fleeing a knife fight. All right? So the root cause here.
If he's being serious, that sounds like a legitimate thing to explore, right? I can't tell if he's being serious. I can't tell. So I don't know. I don't like the sarcasm and the little shit that goes on with the fucking carbon footprint or whatever the fuck you said.
Is knife violence, and he was just a victim of systemic knife violence. Also, I mean, an SUV, think of the carbon footprint.
He's being sarcastic, but is that really like the reason? If somebody felt threatened, that's a good reason to fight or flight, right?
Whoever thought that putting violent criminals back on the streets was a wise decision? I think under the rubric of reform, we let our brains spill out of our skulls. It's like we're releasing piranhas into an aquarium of goldfish. And it's not just with bail reform, it's just stuff like
even
this.
Even if there's talk about reform as a fucking criminal, they would have never let this dude live this shit down. Nobody who has an extensive criminal history, never not going to be treated like a motherfucking criminal at all given points of time in their life, no matter what the fuck they do. Case in point, I'll even use me as an example. Religiously getting treated like a motherfucking criminal or a homeless person or whatever the fuck I did in my previous life up until fucking I had a change. A whole mindset change, a whole reprogram, redirection, of fucking life change. Okay, and I decided to go ahead and give it one more try for a fucking, tap out. They're never gonna let you live it down. Every time you go to court, or every time the motherfucking police arrest you, or every time somebody has a grievance, they're always gonna throw out your misgivings. Oh, you'll always be They would have never let him reform or change his life, even if he wanted to. And then they want to talk about the benefits of the jail. Slap yourself. This bitch ain't never been to jail. She don't understand. She got in on that pass. She's on a pass. You know what I mean? No. There's no benefit of growing up in the motherfucking system of that. There's no motherfucking pass at all.
Also interesting how the stories, depending on what narrative they sell, are turned off or turned on. I could do the story like, what if this guy was white? Because they were doing the thing with Rittenhouse. What if this guy was black? But it's obvious that this story fulfills the wrong narrative, so it's not going to be wall-to-wall coverage. They're going to say, the same people that said Rittenhouse intentionally went to Kenosha to murder these guys,
I like that
will say
deflection.
that this career criminal unintentionally killed people, and how soon before they label him, a victim.
And the police chief said today he's charging him with 5 counts of
Look, that was a real accident. Yeah, that dude right there don't look like he was intentionally trying to bump off little white kids at a Christmas fucking parade. Why do you choke some bitches out? Shit, bitches are reckless. Why do men get choked out by females? Sometimes this shit get dangerous. The situations get real critical. Shit gets pushed too far. Motherfuckers take shit too far. They take it for granted, or you're fucking trying to protect yourself. Shit just survival mode kicked in. You know what I mean? Where you felt like, oh, fuck that. It's not me or you, buddy. It's not gonna be me today. And then all of a sudden, that inner motherfucking fight for your life kicked in, and you're choking them out. This could go either way with either man or woman. You know what kind of circumstances were at hand that led to that. You know, it's definitely not right to choke women up. Men get abused too, man. Let's just keep that honest. And I've seen a lot of dysfunction. That's why, like when we talk about black love, and man, I'm like the first motherfucker to advocate for fucking non-black dysfunction in couples. Okay, it's really fucking important. Really important to me. For me, right? Yet. I think I've seen it maybe twice in my lifetime. In my lifetime, in person, right? But everything else, I see a lot of reckless and a lot of motherfucking. I see a lot of women disrespecting men and be like, man, fuck you, bitch. Calling a man a bitch, who we? Mental, you know what I mean? And there's all these other circumstances. There's a lot of fucking dysfunction out there. So, I would like to look into those other key players in this, right? Other key malfunctions to this individual. And I would like to look into it, and also say, where's the men talking, right? There's brothers out there be like, shit. She make me want to do that. She provoked me. She won't get the fuck out of my face. She keeps touching me, making a point, you know what I mean? With her nails. And she's probably called me a bitch one more time. She must really believe that. And because you want to be nice and you don't want to tell them something, and sometimes they want to be more dominant. And this happens to men too, with women. Everybody has went through this, okay? Everybody, men and women, black men, black women, okay, has had this type of fucking dysfunction. Once, twice, maybe a few times in their whole fucking life. If you said you have it, and you're in a happy, loving, motherfucking, functional black relationship, then I'm so fucking finally make me a believer, because I'm the only one that says I want to believe, okay? Yeah, I preach that shit, my own shit. Man, even in my own shit. I have to be like, can we please not have this dysfunction? We also pay the price of other people's fuck ups when they destroy good shit. And we also pay the price of that too. So everybody's a fucking victim of this shit. And everybody's went through some sort of ugliness with some reckless ass boyfriend or girlfriend on either end. It was just a little too fucking animated and a little too reckless with their words and a little too much. This shit got critical and got serious, and all of a sudden you felt like, oh hell no, not today, Pookie. I'm not gonna let you take me out off brand and fucking you gotta choke the motherfucker out. So it's happened to the best of us, sadly. Sadly. What led up to that? Because that is a motherfucking act of, you just snapped into survival mode. Snapped into survival mode. I can speak on it. I'm a human being. I speak on it from both ends, from being dysfunctional, demanding, fucking trying to assert my dominance somewhere, being dysfunctional, reckless with my words, not knowing how to treat a man appropriately. I've been guilty of the same dysfunction, done the same villainous behavior. I've also been the victim of the opposite, of getting the fucking mad East Side drag in my own crib for years, back and forth many motherfucking times, different relationships. So I've seen both sides of my dysfunction. Not perfect. Anybody who says they are fucking liars. Liars. Blatant, disrespectful, motherfucking liars that should just be slapped outside. Everybody has had some sort of a fucking abusive atrocity of a relationship that they just wish they could press motherfucking rewind on. And men don't talk about it enough, especially when it happens in public. And men are being disrespected in public in front of their friends or other men. Not that that's important, but it is. When reckless shit is going on, women are blatantly disrespecting men in public in front of other men is very, very fucking demeaning and humiliating and lowers a whole bunch of shit. Self-esteem, pride. It makes you question yourself as a man. You got men looking at you like you're a bitch and you can't defend yourself. This is a whole bunch of judgmental looks and nobody can put. Now everybody wants to act like this never happened to them. That type shit. And so fucking judgmental. Very humiliating. God forbid you act out. God forbid you can't control your emotions. Or somebody's doing this animation shit in your face and disrespecting you and putting your business out there or shaming you or disrespecting, and you just can't handle it anymore and you just act out. You just can't handle it, or they touched you in the wrong way and you snapped and that was that. I don't talk about that enough. It really don't. Watched it happen to my own cousin. He thought, he found him a girlfriend and he tried to do the right things by her. And she was mad. She was mad reckless. And no matter what he did to try to make her life better, she would always find a way to run off and just go get fucking high and bring back like 9 motherfucking stragglers to his shit. And she would steal his car and she was disrespectful. She did all kinds of crazy motherfucking reckless shit. To the point where you call your cousin like, man, whoop that ass or something. Get her out of my house, man. They got motherfuckers wearing my shit and talking about that I fucked on my bitch. Woo, 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 right? That kind of shit. She had no shame. And she was reckless, like mad reckless. You could be in the other room, you can hear arguing, it's dysfunctional, mad dysfunctional. You're just trying to eat top ramen, and then you hear this screaming and yelling, like motherfucking loud, like stop it. He's like, stop what? I'm over here. Like, you just hear this dramatic scene that's playing out, and you just have to be like, man, I know cuz didn't wild out. Come on now, not you. You didn't do this right now. Right? He walking out of this hysterical fucking attention grabbing fucking scream like your whole life is fucking shattering. And the whole time, this person's making that shit, just trying to get attention, get the motherfuckers to come up in there. A, B, the police to get called. Or to actually touching on him and calling him names, like calling him a bitch and disrespecting him. And saying things that you should never say, like, yeah, I did do that, or you have your indiscretions in his face and shit like that. I mean, at some point, shit's just gonna get critical, and that's that shit happened. And I was like, damn, because I knew how hard he worked to fix that part of his life, his first wife, and he went through years of prison and shit because he was already in prison for doing some other shit with marijuana earlier. And he thought his wife could be faithful. And clearly wasn't. And clearly lying about it. Clearly did it when he got home. He snapped. And so he learned from that. He thought he learned from it. Flash forward 15 years later. There's still one motherfucker. You're trying to do the right thing. You're just trying to better somebody's life. You try to have a family. He was really hopeful. And he drugged this brother around with him for like damn near a year and a half with this girl. And ups and downs and every day, emotional roller coaster. I'm like, damn, cuz you need to go back to LA. You gotta put some weight on this. This probably like really stressing you out. Fucking like severe psychotic disorder, right? And especially animation. I'm an animation person. I don't like animation. I don't like loud tones. That'll trigger me to feel some kind of way. I don't like loud tones or people yelling like real loud or making loud sounds or shit like that. So there's reasons for that. But I definitely don't like animation. Too much animation in front of me makes me feel like I'm in danger. Like I don't have to protect myself or something. Just act right. Why do you have to be all animated like that? I don't like that shit. But there's a reason for it, right? Then I watched this happen to my cousin. He was in a dysfunctional, abusive ass fucking relationship. She took his shit. She fucked his whole life up. I kicked him out. I kicked this broad out of his house and all her motherfucking straggler friends that she brought with her out his crib like 5 times. I kicked her ass in the fucking vehicle we were in. Just on general principle. Just because that was my cousin, man. He's like, one time you just pray like, oh my God, he's going to do it. He's going to be all right. I know him, man. I've been knowing my whole motherfucking life. He's not even like this. Ever. He loves women. It's ridiculous, okay? He would never, but it just takes that one individual that started the shit that he thought he got out of his system to the point where she had a baby, and what this bride do? She just said, fuck it. You keep him. I'm going to go out and just be in the street and getting high and tattooing my face up and doing all this other bullshit and do whatever I want. So before she left him, the baby, she just straight up, she didn't even tell him anything. She's like, I'll go to the store. Literally, I'm going to the store. I never came back. And he still tried to be the good father. And you want to see him? Nope, she didn't give a fuck. Better for the kid. Man, that kid was striving. I was like, see, look, something good came out of it. But it was a fucking real life ordeal because she didn't want to stop doing drugs while she was pregnant. That was a struggle for me. That was a real struggle for me because I'm like, God damn, dude, like, you care about anything? You did this. It's all on purpose. And it didn't matter. Whatever the fuck she wanted to do, right? It's put other people's lives in danger. She was really fucking reckless, especially when she was pregnant. Took everything, man, for me not to fucking beat the fuck out of that. But cousin was like, don't do it. She's carrying my baby. At some point, I don't even think she cared about herself, let alone the life inside. She just wanted to do whatever the fuck she wanted to do. Let's just keep it very honest. After that, she didn't think she had the baby for like a month, maybe 2 before she traded up on it and left him. Yeah, we got it in a good couple of times. Why? Because I can't do it. I couldn't do it. That was one of those reckless, animated individuals. Men get abused too. Don't get twisted. This fucker was constantly fighting the urge to not whoop off in this bride's ass. She caused him to lose everything. He lost his vehicle. He would lose his money. He lost his whole apartment. There was a whole homeless situation going on for at least 4 months until he got it back together. Made him lose his job. He had a good-ass job as a surveyor, land surveyor. Being so dysfunctional and reckless and shit. She ran into the police with her vehicle, carrying some other dude and his pistol and his drugs in my cousin's vehicle. And they want to charge him for it. Fuck that. She really was. I was so thankful when she decided just to walk off. You know what I mean? probably the best thing she could have did for that kid. Real shit. That right there, good riddance. You know, I don't even give a fuck what happens to that broad after this, because there's nothing you could do when you're that, you know, and there's no help for that. There really is no help for that. I watched it, and my cousin was a really good man. So he didn't have to go through all of that, but he went through all of that and still managed to be a good father, solo father in fucking California. After that, he had to go back to California because he just has to. But God, man, like, that was fucking scary. That was scary shit. Men don't talk about this shit enough. Talk about this motherfucking dysfunction. I see this shit all the time when I'm out in the sweeps. I see it all the fucking time. This disrespect and these couples have been together forever and a day. Like they have these real live fucking in public moments. And the female's like, wah. And you know motherfuckers like this creeping around the corner like, whoa. And what's happening? The guy, he's just like, and you can just feel it like, fuck, help me somebody. Right? Who wants to get involved in that? Nobody. You know why nobody wants to get involved in that? Because how can they? How can anybody get involved in that? For real, why would you? How can you? How can you get involved in that? And there's a lot of reasons to not. Even if you did, would it even matter when they get right back together fucking 20 minutes later and fight 3 hours later the same fucking way? You just wasted your whole motherfucking pep talk. Seen it happen countless fucking times, especially in the street. So I just want to know more. I have questions. And I really wish men would talk about this shit more often. So we always like, especially now in the time of war, protecting them and not being so fucking blatantly abusive is vital. I don't know about any other females, but they're supposed to protect us. Just think about that. They're men. Can't be fucking with the protection. Okay? Real shit. You can't be fucking with the fucking providers of us. I know we want to just think we can just do it all. Be realistic. Come on now. Seriously. Especially when you're living in these kind of lives, like outside the street by yourselves. You're not fucking with the protection of you and the provider for you and motherfucking lean on resource and your fucking defender of you and your nonsense, fucking with them like that. I wonder why they are all broken and fucked up and shit. Come on now. Y'all too. No better. You know, it goes both ways. Nobody's completely innocent motherfucking wrapped in fucking dysfunction. Black people it's not okay. It's not okay. You know, I watched like 2 weeks ago. Me and the mate were out there selling RAHMEL's books, right? And it was called Historic 5 Points, and it's no longer Historic 5 Points. It's like all gentrified now. Very sad shit. This is what I'm telling him, right? We're having our own little dysfunctional shit sometimes because we're human beings. It happens. It really fucking happens. Okay. But it's quiet. It's quiet. I'm fucking with him, right? I'm moody. I'm gonna go say it's me. So I'm fucking with him, right? I feel like I need attention, that type of bullshit. But it's real low. It's real quiet. It's me and him having a little That's me talking to you real quiet, right? Because I don't like shows. And I'm asking a fucking, this is a random stupid ass question about something stupid, probably pointless, just really trying to get him to engage with me. For some odd reason, I felt like he wasn't engaging with me. But it's a real quiet, low conversation because I don't do shows. I don't like to do this shit in front of nobody, right? Right? And I keep looking up, and all I see is white couples walking down the fucking street in either direction, right? And where we're at, it's just like, I would say it's at the end of, it's towards the bus stop. I always refer to it as like towards the bus stop. Right? What does that say? This is on the route. And we're just, I'm kind of picking on him, I'm just asking these questions because I'm just trying to engage, trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's real quiet, I don't like to do that shit. I was just trying to get him to talk to me or whatever the fucking reason was. I'm clearly fucking with him, right? Real quietly. And I keep telling him, I said, hey, this is me having this rational train of thought moment. I was like, cuz, because I'm mad and I'd be like, cuz you see what's happening in front of us. He's like, what? And I was like, look, when we're sitting here having this dialogue, all I see is white couples. And different variations, just hand in hand, mobbing back and forth across the street. Across the street, they're doing it. They're walking in couples, right? It's a motherfucking questionable phenomenon, right? For me. And I'm like, what do you think's going on? Because I feel like there's something afoot. There's like some mischief afoot, being invaded in Paris or some shit like that. Something going on, right? And it's not that I don't believe in love and happiness and shit. For real, though, that's all it's going to be cruising up and down the five ways is white couples. And here you got serious black couples trying to dialogue with each other in the cold, having frustrating moments in life. And this is what I'm like, are you watching this? And he's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, no, isn't that weird to you? Yeah, because I'm still trying to engage. Like, does this seem weird to you? How come they just, they mobbing around holding hands and shit? What do you think is going on over here? Like, is it in the air and it's just dysfunctional for us and functioning for them? You know what I mean? They like does it. Like, stop. But I got real life questions. I was just trying to engage or try to have a conversation, right? So I'm like, man. But it's bothering me because that's all I see in the area that I grew up seeing. Beautiful fucking black people all the time. All the fucking time. You know what I mean? Everywhere. All day, every day. Everywhere. And that's not like that no more. I mean, yeah. So what? Everybody guilty of some fucking sort of dysfunction. However, why was this like this? And it's like that every time I go down there nowadays. At least for the last 2 months. And not that I want to see them be unhappy. I just want to see what's going on because it's like, what's up over here? Because y'all don't get to be happy in our shit when you gentrified it. Like, hell nah. Who's going to let that happen? For reals? No. No. You just walking around just casual, walking the dog, holding hands. What? I'm not against happiness. I'm just like, hell nah. Because I remember before the coronavirus when it wasn't like that, and there was plenty of black faces everywhere, happy, laughing, talking, giggling, daps, hugging each other, conversing, reflecting, powwowing. A lot of unity right there. A lot of love. You definitely saw motherfucking couples, okay? So, and it's all gentrified and fucking people there holding on to whatever's left. Hell no. White people don't get to be happy in the fucking areas they gentrified black people out of. And we gotta watch. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying no to. But yeah, that's clearly happening. Nobody's fucking perfect. Definitely nobody's fucking perfect. That shit's
Intentional homicide. And we've been investigating his social media footprint, Harold Mann. I can't confirm it yet, but this guy is bad news. Bad news.
From his social media?
Bad news.
How we confirm it?
Bad news. I'm talking about motivation. I'm talking about motivation.
Look, there's not much to add to this. This guy, Judge, I love the way you, or I should say, I appreciate the way you analyze this. Is the bail reform. We should have bail reform, but this issue here was this prosecutor here not doing his or her job. If we need more resources to ensure that.
No, you don't need resources. You need a DA who knows what he's doing.
The city.
Sorry.
I'm only saying if there is a need for more staffing around for this, whatever it is, I don't know what this was. It pure incompetence? I agree with you. I'm only saying
15 pages. How long does it take for you to catch incompetence?
Yeah, I mean, my 7-year-old probably could have figured this out without a law degree. So I agree. I don't know what more
all
to add
all those are
we as a
separate,
nation.
separate
I'm excited
charges,
to see
separate
and encouraged to
arrests.
see the police chief. I don't know if he's a Democrat or Republican. He appeared to be African American. That he's. You said 5 intentional acts he's being charged the person with. We need law enforcement and we need district attorneys and.
What do you say? Whoa.
DA who knows what he's doing.
The city.
Sorry.
I'm only saying if there is a need for more staffing around for this, whatever it is, I don't know what this was. It pure incompetence? I agree with you. I'm only saying
15 pages. How long does it take for you to catch incompetence?
Yeah, I mean, my 7-year-old probably could have figured this out without a law degree. So I agree. I don't know what more to add other than we as a nation. I'm excited to see and encouraged to see the police chief. I don't know if he's a Democrat or Republican. He appeared to be African American. That he's. You said 5 intentional acts he's being charged the person with.
The police chief. Okay, that's 2 black people.
And we need district attorneys and prosecutorial teams
that doing white work,
enforce the law.
I didn't see him be
most
black.
important, the reason you enforce the law
that's why I
is to
didn't
protect the
acknowledge
public
him.
and serve the public, and hopefully we get more people wanting to do that.
Can't people sue the city if they're not enforcing the law? I mean, this has got to be. This is clear misconduct on behalf of the city.
Yeah, and there was no police pursuit apparently. So he was
Not
just purposely plowing his car into
It's
the
about
crowd.
whether it's foreseeable. If something is foreseeable, then okay.
I do
Where
think
the police at?
either they have to be sued or something has to happen. Because here's the thing. This guy has ruined the lives of so many people right before Christmas. They'll never get over it. And only justice might be that this process of having very left-wing progressive district attorneys, prosecutors that are not prosecuting crimes, it only takes one case to become a rallying cry. I think this one should be it. If we're going to have a conversation about gun laws every time there's a shooting, then it stands to reason that we should have a conversation about prosecutorial misconduct. I think this is of the highest order, but it's happening not just in Kenosha, it's happening in cities all across America. We've been talking about it, and I think that starting next year in those elections, and the ones that are coming, it's already happening in Seattle. They don't want to defund the police. All across the board. This case should be the rallying cry to end it.
I have to say one more thing.
That's what you're gonna use this
The
crap.
judge knew what record was of this offender. He
Don't let it happen,
just
black
run
people.
over the mother of his child with his car, and he lets him out. When he had already jumped bail, he lets him out on bail. I mean, this is total
Is it
stupidity.
the same prosecutor?
For not caring about the rule of law, period. Sorry.
And our hearts go out to the families of Waukesha.
Hey, Sean Hannah here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling.
This is not the case for whatever bullshit they were trying to promote right there. What did she say? Fucking free to do.
And I think that starting next year in those elections, and the ones that are coming, it's already happening in Seattle. They don't want to defund the police. All across the board. This case should be the rallying cry to end it.
I have to say one more thing. The judge is also a
The police weren't even around. They're like where were they at the first shit? Okay, you got what I'm saying. They weren't even there. They weren't present. Then they were there. Were they there? They weren't there. Because when that first when this shit first happened, they weren't there. But now they're there. Then they bucked off 3 rounds. Come on now, stop it. Then not this one family. Don't let it happen. This is them pushing their fucking bullshit. Just look at it. Look at it through the eyes.
It's happening, not just in Kenosha. It's happening in cities all across America. We've been talking about it, and I think that starting next year in those elections, and the ones that are coming, it's already happening in Seattle. They don't want to defund the police.
Oh my God, that's just because they don't want to be serious about this, replacing it with the actual system of one that works, one that can work, and justice, actual fucking justice. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. They're comfortable in this motherfucking supremacist system they got going on. Yeah. Don't let them do it, family. God, I don't even have to know why I have to have this discussion with you people. Don't do it. I'm looking for the phone call though, because this real shit was
This is Dr.
when he
Grande.
called.
His question is, can I analyze
the phone call when he called his mom? Okay, phone call. That was the juicy shit because sorry, no caps. He called home. There we go. Shout out to Fox 6, I guess. Fair use. Excuse me. Okay. Here we go. 9 days ago. It's like they kind of talk about it. They don't talk about it. They're going to profile this the way they want it to, when they want to, how they want it to play out. It's just terrible.
Marriage offer, threats, and fears of spending his life in jail, all captured in jail phone calls. Weeks before Darrell Brooks was charged with hitting and killing 6 people.
In what?
Spending his life in jail, all captured in jail phone calls. Weeks before Darrell Brooks was charged with hitting and killing 6 people during the Waukesha Christmas parade. Now, Milwaukee County prosecutors are filing witness and victim intimidation charges. Fox 6's Bill Miston joining us live tonight. Bill, these are some pretty remarkable allegations here.
Mary, expletive-laden recorded jailhouse phone calls. Prosecutors allege Brooks tried to...
Already, we're in week 3. All these other motherfucking cases that have been popping up. Where's the phone calls? Right? I mean, the rule is everybody knows everything's being recorded in there, so just clearly go back to this mental health shit, right? But where is everybody else's fucking phone calls to mommy and daddy? Just recently, okay? Come on now. I could play back countless cases with black men, and always the motherfucking phone call, and it gets talked about way before anything else happens, like for reals. But when it comes to motherfucking white people, never want to talk about it. Maybe once in a while, I release a phone call.
To coerce a woman, even offering a marriage proposal and threats. This is the same woman Brooks is accused of running over with an SUV that landed him in jail in the first place weeks before the Waukesha Christmas parade.
Someone is always listening, especially when it comes to jail phone calls. And according to newly filed court documents, the conversation between 39-year-old Darrell Brooks, his mother, and the mother of his child he's accused of running over with an SUV now has him on the hook for witness and victim intimidation. Days after his arrest on November 2nd, court filings say Brooks offered marriage, telling the woman, listen, please listen. I've come to the realization that I'm not going to leave you. You have my daughter. I know your potential, what you can be. I want to marry you. Brooks calling the woman multiple times over nearly 2 weeks, but the marriage offer turning to coercion and threats. In one call saying, you acting like you got so much protection, like you safe. You on my turf. Remember that. Brooks made a total of 11 calls, 9 to the woman even after a no-contact order, and 2 to his mother, discussing the need for the woman to cooperate with prosecutors, saying if she don't cooperate with them, they're going to have to drop it. Prosecutors didn't drop it, but last week, Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm admitting that the ball was dropped after a court commissioner set Brooks' bail at $1,000, despite a pretrial risk assessment that Brooks was at a very high risk of committing a new crime. Brooks' mother posted her son's bond on November 11th, and Brooks was in custody at least until November 16th. 5 days later, Waukesha Christmas Parade.
Whoa, wait.
Now, Brooks is scheduled to
How's that back?
scheduled to appear before Milwaukee County. You on my turf. Remember,
Where did they see this?
and the mother of his child he's accused of running over with an SUV.
I'm sorry, hold on.
It comes to jail phone calls. And according to newly filed court documents, the conversation between 39-year-old Daryl Brooks, his mother, and the mother of his child he's accused of running over with an SUV now has him on the hook for witness and victim intimidation. Days after his arrest on November 2nd, court filings say Brooks offered marriage, telling the woman, listen, please listen. I've come to the realization that I'm not going to leave you. You have my daughter. I know your potential, what you can be. I want to marry you. Brooks calling the woman multiple times over nearly 2 weeks, but the marriage offer turning to coercion and threats. In one call saying, you acting like you got so much protection, like you safe. You on my turf. Remember that. Brooks made a total of 11 calls, 9 to the woman even after a no-contact order, and 2 to his mother, discussing the need for the woman to cooperate with prosecutors, saying if she don't cooperate with them, they're going to have to drop it. Prosecutors didn't drop it, but last week, Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm admitting that the ball was dropped after a court commissioner set Brooks' bail at $1,000, despite a pretrial risk assessment that Brooks was at a very high risk of committing a new crime. Brooks' mother posted her son's bond on November 11th, and Brooks was in custody at least until November 16th. 5 days later, Waukesha Christmas.
Oh, so that's even worse, right? I thought this was gonna happen right now while he's in jail during this shit. So this shit happened before. These little phone calls they're gonna use happened before this shit happens. How is this gonna be legal? How is this legal? How is this fucking legal? Like, help me understand, please, because I don't understand how they could throw this in with that. The phone calls and, he obviously can't get her to cooperate. I've seen this happen too in jail, okay? You don't answer the phone, motherfucking neglect, blah, blah, blah. It's hard, okay? You just asserting your power too. There's a lot of motives right here in this dynamic, fucking dysfunctional relationship. Please, I need to know, how is this possible that they can use some shit from the second and tie it in with this shit of this accident? Can't stand corrected. 15 things of reasonable doubt. How is this even possible? How is this possible? Help me understand, somebody, please. Because that right there, I heard her right there. I don't think that I've ever heard that in my life. They made it sound like he did this shit right now. Like he's having these wild ass illicit conversations since the parade shit happened. This sits on the second. Help me understand how they could add this to that. Not even the same shit. He's probably talking about some other shit. Then how is that possible? How is that even relevant? I understand the correlation, they want to connect it, but how is it relevant? How is it in time?
Christmas Parade. Now, Brooks is scheduled to
scheduled to appear before a Milwaukee County judge, two judges actually, later this month for this case as well as another felony case out of Milwaukee County. Brooks remains jailed in Waukesha County on $5 million bond. Reporting live in Milwaukee tonight, Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
What's like 10, right?
Thank you.
I thought it was 10 initially. 5 still fucking high on a cash bond for an indigent individual. You see what I'm talking about? Really? Like, they want you to go down for something. They're gonna make sure you go down for it. And no fucking support, brother. No support. I was like, how is that even possible? Help me understand, please. Somebody, please help me understand how that's gonna be okay to get away with. I'm trying to get over here. Okay, come on now, stop. It's obnoxious. Go this way. It's like, one second, family. I apologize. I straight had a Goldilocks day. I was like, somebody's been sitting at my desk. My shit's all fucked up. It would seem like that, but it really wasn't that way. Damn. All right. Well, thanks for exploring that with me, because I had questions. You should have questions too. I'm continuously try to follow this. I feel compelled to. I would just want to explore some options. I would just want to explore some reasonable doubt. Not to say that the accident didn't occur and tragedy didn't happen. And clearly, he's a situation of, mental health, and they know that. I got questions too. Help me understand. At least give them that. God. Al Sharptons of the world. And can the brother get some support? Can somebody show up over there and just give him the encouragement of gonna be all right? Bad break. Damn, what's going on in your lifetime shit? Just right. Okay. Yeah, thanks for viewing the RVA. Obviously stay black, dangerous, and aware. And don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. So much has happened in the world the last couple of days. So much has happened in the world the last couple of days. But thank you for kicking it with me on today and for part 3 of my shit. I'll probably finish my thing with Mr. Paris later. Let's see. And please tap in on the Frontline Black News, where we talk about Tangibles 2021 and a few other very important discussions with Shabaka Sankori and RAHMEL Understanding, and obviously Jesse. We talk about some unhoused shit too. 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So join us. Please join us. Usual Saturday. I think we're on 41, or some people would say season 2, episode 1. It could be 41. Who knows how he's gonna operate today with the Frontline Black News. And I'm on 21 and a half. Be amused. I was. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sitting and dialoguing with me and having reactionary real life moments. Shout out to Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority. Yeah. Shout out to them. And I just missed the moment of truth now, so I'm going to go tune into that. I suggest you all do the same. Get on code. Get on code. Stay on code. And clear-minded. We're at war. Fucking at war. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Tap in later. I'm going to play a song and we boning out. Have a great day. Grand Rising. It's early. Start your day off right. Let's see. Let's see what I want to hear right now. I'm going to go with the same one. I was kind of digging it. Maybe not. Maybe we'll go with this one. Hold on.
I mean, they think it's...
Get this commercial out the way. This is tight too. This one's good. Come on, 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 come on. Thank you. Y'all have a good one. Hold on, let's go.
Let go. My hood full of cases like the red box, and everything be Gucci to the feds now. Got the rap game and that headlock, and I'm trying to make classic moves like a leg drop. Ooh, off top like a guillotine. The speech is mean, and I deem anything you glean to be fit for kings. Ooh. Or queens if you female, I prevail. Cause I got the wife who pray in detail and keep shells. And a pistol strapped to her like seatbelts. Cause we failed. She should hold a banker if she need help. Look, my Coretta pack Berettas and they'll sleep well. Putting something in her dread head like a seashell. Ooh. But we non-violent, word to Martin. Unless they get to sparking, then we ain't for marching. I only spit the life I live, so it ain't alarming that you never get a character whenever I'm performing. Most these rappers off is showmen, but that ain't me, can't be. I'm from where the killers and the gangs be. Thank me later for not switching up or changing. I'm on my bigot mix with Prince Purple Rain thing. Ooh. Purple Rain thing. Purple Rain thing. Ooh. I'm on my bigot mix with Prince Purple Rain thing. Ooh. Purple Rain thing. Purple Rain thing. Ooh. Purple Rain thing. I'm on my bigot mix with Prince Purple Rain thing. Purple rain when I stain, dripping lavender. I'm in the coupe this morning without a passenger. They see me low to the flow, yes, I'm a scavenger. These rappers dodging the dun, just like a challenger. Real veteran on the slab, not an amateur. Hold it down, all 4 seasons, like a calendar. Yeah, my lights is bright, my hair's is blinking. I'm on Luther Black in my JFK Lincoln. A legendary freestyle game, high roller. Why you think they call me the king, the crown holder? Houston, Texas, loving my city. What a place. 45 tucked to the side for just in case. Born in the heart of the gutter, where it's filthy. We raised the whole court in the streets, not guilty. It's purple rain when I walk on red carpet. Drive the blue Bentley, green leaf sparking. Bob's done shopping as soon as I valet park it. Young, black, handsome, and rich. Oh, he a target. Tell him come see me when I'm sold out the venue. I'm never out the race, cause the marathon continues. Check. Purple rain thing. Purple rain thing. I'm on my bigot mix with Prince Purple Rain thing. Purple rain thing. Purple rain thing. I'm on my bigot mix with Prince Purple Rain thing. Hold up, big baby. Still pack the line. No so presidential. Got love from Obama. Hold up, big baby. Still pack the line. No so presidential. Got love from Obama. Hold up, big baby. Still pack the line. No so presidential. Got love from Obama. Hold up, big baby. Hold up, big baby. Hold up, big baby. Hold up, big baby.
Yeah. Grand Rising. Have a great day. Stay black, dangerous, and favored. Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in to Frontline Black News tonight, 10 o'clock, usual standard. Wait, I apologize. Saturday. I keep thinking it's Saturday. Saturday at 10 o'clock. Frontline Black News. Grand Rising, have a great day. Be awesome. Do the most. Peace.